Hey everyone, and what's up? Welcome to Dope Living TV. I am your co-host today, Nye. And today we are really going to be talking about sexual intimacy in relationships, and preferences. So I know we hit on it before. We didn't really go too deep into it about what you like to do in your relationships, what you're comfortable with, being intimate with your partners. But I'm really interested to know, what you guys think, what you're comfortable with, what do you think that your partner should be doing, and should it be reciprocated? I see a lot of things. I'm in a homosexual relationship, so for me, pretty much everything is reciprocated. There is really nothing that's off the table. And Dope Living TV live, we don't leave anything off the table. We got everything from A to Z, and we make sure we talk and we're open to talking about everything. But for me, as a homosexual, everything is pretty much reciprocated. We don't leave anything off the table because there's nothing really to be left off the table. Not saying that in homosexual relationships that doesn't happen, but it's all dependent on what you're comfortable with, what your partner is comfortable with, and you guys having that discussion so that everyone is on the same page. So I'm interested to know, how that plays out. Should in a heterosexual relationship, do you feel like giving head should be an obligation? Whether you're giving head to your man or your man is giving head to you. I see all the time when men talk about, she has to give me head, or she's not the one, or they talk about that, females shouldn't be required to receive head. And it's a big stigma. It's this big back and forth. This entire thing is just mind-boggling. So what are you guys' preferences? What do you guys think should or should not be happening?
Nah,
Hey, Maurice.
what's going on?
This is my brother Maurice. How are you?
Oh, I'm getting there. I've been down in the dumps the last couple of days. So.
Yeah, I definitely know. Glad to see you. We missed you definitely yesterday. I'm glad to see you. Should getting better though, for sure, for sure.
So what's up with this conversation tonight, sis?
So okay. So you remember a couple months ago, we kind of touched on
Yeah, yeah.
the head situation, but it wasn't like super in depth. Well, I want to revisit it, and I want to talk about the intimacy of relationships in
Okay.
general, not just sexual intimacy, but being intimate with your partner. What does that look like? What should be compromised on? What things should be discussed for you guys to have, that understanding? And then, sexual intimacy. What does it look like in the bedroom? Should each partner be required to complete some tasks as far as sexual pleasure, head? Men, are you required to also give head to women and vice versa? So the entire spectrum. I want to know.
I mean, it depends on the individual. Me and my wife. I mean, I'm just gonna put a little edge. I'm not gonna put it all out there. But I mean, nothing's required. I mean, it's just whatever you feel like that night. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I mean, if it feel like that way, gonna go with head. That's where it go. If it don't, it don't. And that was in our younger years. As you get older, those change. Those things change. So I mean, it depends on what's going on that night. I mean, intimacy is not just sexual with us. I mean, I think the longer lasting relationships are just not physical.
Right.
It has to be a lot more mental than physical, because if it's not, then it won't. It just doesn't last that long. It just doesn't. Um, to me, and that's our experience. We've been kicking around 30 years. So I mean, if because the physical part wears off. I mean, I don't give a dang if you stay on this planet long enough and they don't come out with no super youth formula, you're gonna get old.
Right.
And doing those acrobatics you done when you was 22, 23 years old don't happen at 60. Okay. Things start to crackle and popping when you get out of bed. So
Right.
so I mean, it just don't happen like that. I mean, a lot of people say, like, well, I got action happening, at 60 years old. Yeah, you got action happening. It's called being gay, But so You
I
know,
was just gonna ask though, because I do see older couples, like I do see older, I'll say men, and women, but like 40s, 50s, 60s. I don't know about 70s, but I definitely see where it's still like you head is a requirement, or that foreplay, like it's still like something that's very prevalent.
well,
So
I mean, as a relationship go on, of course, more play is what we call it. You're gonna need more and more play. Period. I mean, that's on both ends. It's not just females; it's male as well. You know, just to get to that, it's kind of like a drug. That's what sex is. It's a drug. So, I mean, that first time is not going to be like, you know, your very first time. You think about your very first time, it's like, man. And well, when I say the very first time, I mean the very first time you got off,
yeah.
you know, and think about, you know, them times where you're like, oh God, I wish this get the hell out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the first time you got off versus, you know, you chasing that same high for the rest of that relationship, you know, or whatever. So, I mean, it's just like a drug. So, I mean, and fortunately finding somebody who's just not on the physical with you, you know. I mean, as things start to break, and they will, as you get older, as you are blessed to be on this planet a little longer, things gonna get broke. Things just not gonna, you know, work no more. And
So
again,
go ahead, go ahead.
if that was keeping you together, the physical, then it's not gonna last.
So do you think that in relationships, all relationships, no matter the age,
Mm.
well, let's keep it 18 and up. But do you feel that sexual intimacy is necessary? Since you're saying that, you know, if it wasn't anything more to it, then it's not going to last. But do you think that it's important? Do you think it's necessary?
Sure, I mean, innuendos and stuff work, you know. Um, Intimacy, that's the mental part of it. I mean, you know, and the thing about it is, if you had a good earlier sexual relationship, you can remember, you know, you can go back and say, hey baby, you remember when we did X X X X? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
Right.
you get to talking about those things, you know. That a good relationship, you could go back and look on the good things like that. So I mean, that's part of the intimacy, that you remember the things, that you remember the passion that you remember, and you're always chasing it. Like I said, you always chase it like a high.
So okay, but what about the people who are chasing that? What about the people who are like, well, you know, he ain't put it down like how he used to, or you know, she just stopped doing things, because you know you get the stigma, or you get that idea that what one person won't do, another person will, and
That is true to an extent. But you know, that one, like we always talk about on the show, that one, ain't nobody gonna do it like that one. And if that one just happened to be just a physical relationship, then you're gonna have problems.
right
You know,
now. But what about the people who get upset and that their person isn't, that their partner or whoever they're with no longer satisfies their needs, because they're continuously, even in their older age, are chasing that high?
that's a problem. Like I said, it's getting with the right one at the beginning. And again, you with the right one at the beginning, you're gonna have that intimacy. That intimacy is gonna come along with that whole show, you know, and it don't have to necessarily have to be physical every time.
Now me, I agree with you. I
Mm.
I agree with you, because I don't think that it I mean, I agree that if you don't have something, a foundation on, then you're definitely going to be, you know, you're gonna be asked out. Is it Felicia? Felicia, that how you say it?
Of course.
Coral says that's facts. So I'm assuming that she's talking about what you said. If you don't have anything to build on it, if it's just physical, it's not gonna last. Whether you know you're chasing that sexual high or not.
Right.
Now, what I want to know from you as an old head, that's what we call y'all. We call y'all old
Can't be
heads.
cool without the snow.
The salt and pepper,
That's
right?
right.
So what I want to know is how you and your wife have maintained like intimacy, sorry, on all levels. And you don't have to necessarily talk about sexual, but you talked about how you guys have intimacy and other levels, and you guys have been together for 30 years. So like, how did you plan that out? Like, what discussion did you have to have?
Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you. I can't begin to tell you how all of that kind of fell into place. Love is a crazy thing. Uh, I can remember meeting her. I can remember us sitting down and talking and talking about a whole bunch of things in depth. Even that right there is intimate to me. I don't know about any other cats, but being able to sit down with somebody, on an equal, you know, wavelength on your brain. You know what I mean? When you sit down and talk to them, they stimulate you there. You know, and they ain't tripping every time you walk out the door, or tripping every time you decide to do something other than what you're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? As far as going up the ladder, corporate ladder, business ladder, no matter what. So to me, that's what's kept me and my wife. You know, that to me is really intimate. That right there, that means a lot to me because again, when we met, I ain't had nothing. I couldn't rub two nickels together. They this close.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she was the one that kept me encouraged, and actually, I was a single dad for a little minute too. So, but she kept me going.
So okay, so that works for you, but we talk about this all the time. Millennials,
Yeah,
Generation Z, like that sounds all cool and everything, but
yeah,
like that's
yeah.
not really, that's not necessarily the direction that these cats are headed right now.
I know. And again, when you meet that one, you'll know what we're talking about.
And see, I know what you're talking about because
Okay.
I have my one with
Yeah.
you, and we
When you
have that. We stimulate each other's minds, and our intimacy is out of
right.
this world with all different levels.
When you're on the
But
same page, that's the shit.
it
I hate
is.
to be
It's the
blunt,
shit.
but that's what it is.
Yeah, but these young cats, as y'all call them, they these
Yeah.
people, they be men and females, they be on a whole nother level because the thing is, okay, so how do you justify when there's? I don't feel like there's a justification, but how do you, if I'm playing devil's advocate, how do you justify or explain when someone is not doing their so-called part in a relationship sexually, that somebody feels like they need to they have the need or they have a justification or a reason, excuse to step out because you weren't doing it and you didn't make me feel this way and this and this, so I had to go get it. Whether they say it was just sex, it will never be the same as you, or it was emotional or whatever the case may be. These people are out here cheating, and
Let them rock.
they don't care nothing about this
Hey,
intimacy
let
stuff.
them rock. Because I'm gonna tell you something. The worst thing that I could think about in my whole world, my wife is to hurt her physically or mentally. That would hurt her mentally, and I wouldn't want to ever do that ever. So I'm just saying, if they ready to hurt you like that, then they'll hurt you in any other kind of way, without any regards. Instead of sitting down and talking about it,
So,
communication is key.
so what I'm hearing is that these young people, they full of it. That's
Let
what
them
I'm
rock.
hearing.
Let them roll. Let them roll. I'm gonna tell you something. Ain't nothing better than finding that one. And a lot of people always saying, what's that one? Trust me, you ain't gonna ask that question when you hit it. You don't ask that question. You know, and there's nothing else there's nothing in this whole wide world that you would want to do to hurt that person, ever, ever. And if you did happen to hurt him, it was probably a mistake, and you would apologize 60 million times. And that's the way I feel about my wife. I wouldn't want to do anything to hurt her.
I feel like you guys have a beautiful love. It sounds beautiful. Of course, I know it takes work. I mean, 30 years, you bound to have gone through some things, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, anybody that knows me and my wife knows that this is solid like that. Anybody that knows me and my wife, they know it's 110.
Yeah.
You know?
Lisa said, she said it's okay to call her Lisa. Lisa says you will know um, when it's the right person. You'll know. And
That's right.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. I just feel like that playing devil's advocate, they don't see it like that.
Hey,
Chasing
look,
that high, they chasing that drug, and they feel like if you're not delivering, somebody else gonna deliver.
back in the day, we had the freak train going too. It was what we called it was the freak train. It was how many, where, and all that other stuff. That back in the day when we was younger. And again, they got old. That got old before finding somebody steady did. So
Before you got
yeah,
old.
right, right. You know,
So, okay, I want to switch gears. because
Okay.
so we were talking about this last night after the show. Marcy's not on here. She had a project that she has to get done, but
I saw the
I
on the
bring
chat.
yeah. Hopefully she can hop on because I think it would be a very interesting turn because I want to talk about the I want this is not talked about in the church,
Uh-oh.
and I feel like it should be. I mean, it's a part of it, right? She said, "Let them play devil." She said, "Let them devils
Devil's
play."
Playday. Oh, well, I I remember myself in church, and I know Marcy probably heard me say this before. We were taught not to light that wick until you got married, because once that wick is lit, it ain't putting it out until you die. So I mean, and not to mention, you don't know nobody else but that one person. So there's no comparing to anything. That statement you made earlier, you ain't comparing it to nothing because you don't know nothing else.
But
So
see, here's the thing.
I know millennials ain't going like that.
That well, listen, it's not just millennials though. It's
Okay,
Generation X.
youngins,
It's my
youngins,
parents.
youngins.
And so
but
here's the thing though,
but
and
I'm saying that in this type of world that we in right now, of course, that ain't happening now. But if it did, think about this: everybody that had that first experience would be the only experience that they had when they got married. It wouldn't be no divorce.
okay, but what about this? What about the people who do wait till marriage? They follow the Bible, they go to church or whatever religion they're with, and then they start to wonder. They with this person, and then they start wondering. They be like, okay, but this is the only person I've ever been with. Should I
I
try
wonder.
something else? Like I hear it. I'm just saying it because it's a thing. Like that sounds great in a perfect euphoria. That's not. You guys are beautiful. I'm glad that we actually get to see your face now. And you got your setup. But that sounds great and everything. And in a perfect world, in a perfect utopia where we have this euphoria of just you be with this one person. When you get married to this one person, you only know this one person. You stay with this one person. There's no divorce. But the thing is, people have brains, and the way
Yeah,
society is,
yeah.
people start thinking.
That's called conflict, and it's put there by the devil. That's the way
So
we was taught.
they start thinking what they start thinking like maybe I should try this, or the person who been with somebody since high school and they've never been with anybody else and they start thinking maybe I want to experience. That's what I hear. I want to experience what life would be, or I want to experience the grass. I know the grass ain't always green on the other side, but they want to start experiencing what it would be like to see other people and experience that feeling of maybe we should date other people. We've been together for a long time, and we should just take a break. What about that? How do you avoid that? How do you navigate that? Because in
You
have you
don't. I
experienced?
mean, you really don't. I mean, you let that fly the way it's gonna fly. Like I told you earlier, if that person wants to experience that, bye bye. You can't, you can't, you can't, you know, you can't pump the brakes on that. I mean, that's not gonna never be a good thing if that person, any one of those people, want to leave that relationship that you call a super relationship. It's just not gonna be there. You know.
Okay, what about this one? All right. So I'm just saying. Okay, so I guess I'm about to disrupt some people's entire religion right here, but it's okay.
Okay,
We don't leave it. We don't leave
you better
anything
throw
on
this
the table.
curve up in here.
Listen, I'm about to disrupt and dismantle some things because it's not talked about, but it should be talked about because it's important. They're talking about enjoy the fruits of your labor and all this other stuff.
Okay.
So here's the thing: the people in church they be the freakiest ones. The pastors and the deacons. Lisa said true commitment won't stray. I agree
Thank you.
with that. However, these pastors and these deacons, and then you start finding out that the pastor that slept with the usher,
Ooh, you throwing a
and
lot of shade out there, sis.
I'm just saying because we don't talk about it in the
We
church.
don't. We don't. And I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. You're not telling a lie. Okay. It is. It is there. And it's not every church. It's just them. Just like everybody that black don't go robbing everybody. We don't, and everybody that white don't go, hanging black people. I mean, it just you don't blanket. That's a blanket statement, and there's a lot of preachers going like this if they listen. You know.
Yeah.
So my whole thing is, yeah, they out there, and just like the freak train is out there too. Um, and I'd be stupid. I'd be stupid to think that we're gonna we that this whole thing with the pastors and stuff is gonna stop overnight because we said something about it. The truth is, it happens,
Yeah.
and again, what are you gonna do about it?
Lisa said I said a mouthful. She did. I told
Yeah,
you I'm about to disrupt some people's religion. I'm just saying though, because the thing is, I know how when I grew up going to church, and
me too.
uh, we went to church basically every Sunday. Whether I
We
went,
went to church 3 or 4 times a
yeah, see,
week.
my
So
parents wasn't doing that. But see, I went to church an hour away. My parents would. I mean, my parents worked, so I mean, times are different, right? Like I know a lot of people go back in the day would go to church. They went to church on Monday. They went Bible study on Wednesday. Had Sunday school. Then didn't get out of church till 5 o'clock. Yeah, we didn't do that. But I did go to church.
then went to church at night. So
Yeah, and at night too, like all type of stuff. We
yeah.
didn't do all that. The most I did was go to some praise. She said at least said 45 times. You see, now that's a lot. That's a lot. We didn't do that. But what I noticed was like this is that I mean I'm saying the people in the church, and I'm not just talking about pastors, or the people who are they hold a status or a title within the church. I'm not just talking about deacons and ushers and evangelists and all that, but in a church, the congregation, even like the teenagers, like even like you ever seen like a preacher's kid sneaking around? They be the you. I mean, even the
Oh,
congregation
oh,
be the freakiest
that's a
shit.
whole nother show. PKs.
I mean,
That's a whole nother show.
what
PKs.
does
Okay.
WYPP mean? Somebody let me know. Lisa, let me know. I don't know what that means.
YPWW, I think is what she
Oh,
said.
I mean, I know what would Jesus do. I know. I don't know. I don't know what YWPP means.
Lisa, break that acronym
Yeah,
down.
break that down for us. I'm not familiar.
I probably know what it is. I was oh, okay. She break it down.
What she say?
I see.
No, I'll probably figure it out when she breaks it down. I'll probably be like, oh, that's what that is. But I say that because it's not talked about in church, and I feel like it's that way. The way it's like that is because they don't break it down in church. I mean,
Well,
not break it down or just talk about it, because intimacy is a very big thing.
it
And what
is.
they have, I feel like within the church, I can't speak too much about it. But I feel like that a lot of problems youth
Youth
Bible.
Bible study.
Oh, okay. I may have said it wrong. I don't know. We never used the acronym. I never used the acronym for Bible study, youth Bible study. But because if you do Bible study, that's BS. I don't know if you want to be walking around saying that. But I feel like a lot of issues potentially could have been solved in the church as far as infidelity, and stepping out.
If it was
It
if it
was
was not if it was a better example than what they saw, and I can understand that. I mean, because they in the pulpit they're telling you to don't mess around until you get married.
yeah.
Don't have no kids, and they doing the direct opposite out in the street behind the curtains or whatever. That right there is hypocritical, and of course it happens, and and we all not perfect. I'm not gonna throw no shade, no stones on it, but it's kind of hard to do the right thing, and the preacher's not doing what they're supposed to do.
And not even that, they don't talk about all they really, from my experience. I'll talk from my experience, so I'm not trying to offend anybody. But
Uh,
uh, all they talk about is wait to marriage to before you have sex. But
but they don't explain it.
they don't explain it for when you do have sex, because this it's not realistic. There are gonna be some people who follow that, but in this day and age, it's not realistic.
I
So
didn't. I mean, and I knew exactly what was going on. I
you
didn't
have
follow
to
it.
prepare
Hmm.
people for that. And then on top of that, okay, if we put that aside, because we're talking about the youth, right now, well, let's put the youth aside and let's talk about the adults in relationships. I feel like infidelity and people cheating because their needs aren't being met or whatever wouldn't really happen as much if like intimacy and sex and preferences, and like you're not going to no Bible study talking about head in the church with the pastor. Like, well, you're not talking about, well,
No,
stop giving me head. That's not discussed, but it should be. Maybe not in that manner, but you should discuss it, because I feel like that could fix a lot of problems. Like, people go to marriage counseling, right? They go to marriage counseling. You didn't. I'm assuming you're saying, Lisa, that you didn't wait till marriage. I didn't wait either. Um, but she put the looking eyes emojis. And no judgment. I'm not judging you. We don't judge here on Dope Living TV. But what I'm saying is, okay, marriage counseling. People go to marriage counseling for a number of reasons. They go to marriage counseling because they need counseling. They might go to a therapist, but a lot of people who grew up in the church, they'll go to church. And then, of course, before you get married. But if you're having problems, they'll start going to marriage counseling through the church. But I can guarantee you, there's a very big difference between going to marriage counseling with a therapist where you're talking about these intimate issues that you're having. Maybe he's having erectile dysfunction. I don't know. And then, but you're not going to say that to your pastor. You're going to like brush over those issues. I feel like it should be talked about. Then maybe somebody wouldn't be cheating.
Again, I'm going to go over what I said earlier. I'm going to go over it. You ain't got no cold. Is that what I think it is?
This is not core, but this is regular water. I don't have core. I just got regular water, but I'm thirsty.
I got one in the freezer.
Oh,
Yep.
Greg.
Greg.
Here come Greg.
Here come Greg.
Uh-oh.
What's up?
Hey man, I gotta tell y'all, first of all, y'all are great, man. Now you did your thing, okay? You put it down. I'm not coming in just yet, but hey, when she said, hey Maurice, when she said erectile dysfunction, man, I almost tripped.
Listen, I'm just saying. I don't know.
Yeah, but I understand that it depends on how close you are to your pastor too. I mean, because a lot of people go into counseling before they get married with their pastor, and it gets deep. I got step parents that I got a step parent that is a evangelist, and they go deep if they want to go that route. They go deep. I mean, even there, in oral sex, a lot of people, condemn it because it's not what you got your tools for. But yeah, some pastors do. I mean, some people don't like talking to therapists. Some people all they want to talk to is their pastor. So
I feel like it's fair because, like me, I'm not religious.
yeah.
But if I were, like I said, I did grow up in church, and if I was religious and I would be afraid. I would be afraid to talk because, like, we don't talk about that. We don't even talk about that in my household. Like, I didn't get no birds and the bees talk. It's just kind of like an understanding. Like,
oh no, I'm gonna tell you, my mother was pretty open about all of that. I mean, she was open like.
But you're
wow.
a boy. See, but that's the thing. My mom is open with my brothers. Like, they're open. Like, those conversations, like, they talk about puberty. And I didn't get that. I don't know. I feel like it's a little different for females in general. I didn't get that. I didn't get no birds and the bees.
Oh, no. My mom wasn't no joke. She just opened it right up. Boy, she laid it out straight. Wasn't no ifs, ands, buts, or, maybes. Wasn't no doubting about what she was talking about. So
I'm just saying, I would be afraid to talk to my pastor and go to marriage counselor or talk to a pastor in general. Any pastor, my pastor, somebody else's pastor, a pastor, I don't know, a deacon, a priest, whoever. I would be a rabbi, somebody. I would be afraid to sit there and be like, so sex. Like, what? No.
But see, check this out. So, and I give an example about this. A lot of these guys who are leading the flock, okay, so to speak, in the churches.
There we go.
One time I went to, and I don't know if that's the hangout or what, okay, Pepe's Tacos karaoke night, right? So I went to, so my mom was Jehovah's Witness, so I used to go to the Jehovah's Witness house, right? And I go up to Pepe's Tacos to get me some tacos, all right, and I could sing, so I say I might, blow a little bit for a second. And I see this one brother, we call them brothers. This one brother was like, "It's not unusual to be sad." Drunk as hell, okay? And he sat back after he got through singing his song. He sat back in that corner, was looking just like I'm R. Kelly at McDonald's, man. He was like,
"You wrong, Greg. You wrong."
Hey, little girl.
Dude, I used to DJ clubs with dudes like that. You'd be sitting there, and you don't know if they. I take that back. You know who's married up in that club, okay?
Exactly.
You know who's married. There's been some times where their wives done showed up at the club, house shoes and everything on.
I know you lying.
Beat the
No,
crap out of him.
for
What
real.
you doing over here? And try to pull all the hair out the chicken in the corner. But you know who those dudes are. Ain't got no business doing that anyway. You know what I mean?
You could tell. Yeah, I agree. You could tell.
Yeah.
They come up there at night. I'm telling you, if you tell your wife you're going to the store, all right, she got that stopwatch on, all right, because you know how long it takes to get from here to Value Mart or wherever it is, okay, and back, all right. And if you leaving here smelling like
Fried
really,
chicken.
yeah, if you leaving here, if you leaving the house smelling really great, and you shaved up real good and this and that, and you go to the club, she's not stupid. A woman is not stupid by any means, okay, except for this
Hey,
golfing over here.
Tree.
Everybody say what's up the street.
Hey, Tree.
She wants something in the
That's it.
except for
What's going on?
it's nice sharp, so let me move myself.
I don't know. I can't.
Hey, hey.
So, as you know, we talked about last night. We talking about
You got the.
intimacy. We got a
Hold on
lot
for a
of.
minute.
I don't know. I can't.
Hey.
Hold on.
Somebody has a lot of feedback.
What's going on?
A lot of feedback in her background.
Hey.
Hey, Maurice.
Maurice.
We're
Oh, there you go.
gonna find out about Maurice. You see, it was somebody. Hey, boy, how you
Right.
doing?
You ever seen White Chicks though?
Yes.
So you remember at the beginning of White Chicks
I mean,
where
Marcy's life story.
when she come on, she'd be like, "You late," and then he was like, "Baby, I came straight home from the bar after I had a couple drinks. It take me 8 minutes. It takes me 10 minutes. I got here at 8. Don't you think it would take me more than 2 minutes?" And she said, "Tuh."
Yeah, they
So,
time it. Nah, it's this thing is a man. It's the intimacy and this and that, because if you get it, because I heard what you guys were talking about earlier, and I'm just gonna say a little bit. Maurice had a point when you get it and you ain't trying to lose it, okay? But a lot of guys and what did you call us?
old heads.
Oh, a lot of old heads. All right. And show you how old head I am too. My glasses broke. I'm still wearing them. All right.
Oh,
Anyway, I'm getting some new ones tomorrow. Anyway, a lot of old heads will have a great thing.
You black, your teeth black.
Yeah, I know, because I gotta let me straighten this out here. But a lot of old heads will try to keep going to see if they still got it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nasty motherfuckers. Anyway,
Nasty.
I'm just saying, ease up, guys. Okay, but go ahead, Nye.
No, I was just saying, because it's not talked about, and I really want to know. Maurice said in his household, at least, bring it back to what I was originally talking about. We kind of got a little bit off topic, but he said in his household, nothing's off limits, but nothing is required. And so my original point was, what happens when you meet someone or you're with someone, even for a long time, and they start to become unsatisfied or whatever? Like, should there be requirements? Should men be required to satisfy as well as women? Should you guys have some rules as far as, or a compromise as far as your intimate, lives, to keep things fresh or updated and happy?
Okay, see, here's my comment, and I'm quite sure Tree agrees with me, because we did have this conversation yesterday. And hey, Tree, how you doing? When you get ready to be intimate, you are not supposed to, and this is just me saying this, okay? You ain't supposed to look for what this other person is going to do. You get in there and you do your thing, okay? And again, if you're doing it right, it's going to be reciprocated.
I was just about to say that.
It's going to be reciprocated. You're going to get yours too, okay? And if you don't get it this time, to me, you did it so good that you wore it out. All right. And so you'll get it next time. Trust me, probably before you even do it. And another thing is this, and I don't care who hears it. Neither you forgot to say the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Okay. And I did put a parental discretion advised on there. Now, but the thing I didn't say is this, and I said it, and I'm gonna say it again.
I know what you're gonna say.
If there's any, and move, Mike. If there's any man, and I'm speaking from a man's perspective, is any man out there that say he don't go
down?
Yeah, I was gonna say something else. I'm politically correct, so yeah. If a man out there says he don't go down, you are a liar. Okay, you a liar, and the truth ain't in you. All right, period. That's all I'm gonna say about that. You lying mother.
Beep.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying, though. All these guys, no, I would never do that. Okay, because I have to go to work the next morning, and I don't want my breath to smell. Yeah, you do, dude. You want to be like, you all day long. You like this.
What they say, that's the stench of manhood. Hey, Sage told me to tell you that she said, "Hey, Greg."
Sage, my darling little sister. What's up, girl?
What's up?
Don't get quiet over there, Tree. You know I'm right. Oh, I didn't even put her in. I'm sorry.
No, I'm over here like, where's Tree at?
I've been listening backstage.
What's going on? I'm sorry, I'm back. I haven't talked to my grandbabies in a couple of days, and they was on the FaceTime. So,
guys, I'm going to start eating my dinner. If that's okay with you guys, is that okay with you guys?
Tree, I got my samples. They're in the refrigerator. I gotta wait till whatever this funk is going on with this. I don't know what it was. I just woke up. I was sick.
You didn't have COVID, did you?
Huh?
You didn't have COVID, did you?
No. As a matter of fact, I know where I got it from. I got it from my wife. She had something,
Yeah, there's that intimacy.
Hey, she got it. I got it mental. No, for real. She had it. She had something. I don't know what it was. It was a sore throat, and her head was hurting, and it was just a real funk. And of course, I'm kissing her on her lips. I just swapping spit with her, right on, catching everything. So, and I caught it too. So, whatever it is, it lasts only a couple of days and it goes away.
We're glad you're better, bro. Definitely.
Yeah, good to see you. Look good, though.
Still kind of raspy, but I'm here.
It's all good. So we are talking about what now? Let me roll my notes. It's been a real busy day for me. I'm sleeping all day tomorrow.
We're talking about sexual intimacy and preferences. Now, we done roped in some other things. So we talked about things that should be discussed in the church, because we talked about that last night. But, what are your preferences as far as intimacy, sexual intimacy, and how you and your partner, how should people, these younger people like millennials, my generation, how should they, go about this? Because you got cheating and all type of stuff going on, and people stepping out of relationships, and people wanting to be hoes and all type of stuff, because there's no, boundaries. How do you set your preferences without, overstepping boundaries? What do y'all do?
I'm gonna tell you, if I could put it on the shelf and get it anytime I want, open it up with a can opener, man, I would do it. Okay, if I can go in the car and it just pops out, I'm good.
I'm good. It's a hot sunny day. I'm good.
Exactly. I do a commercial for that. Like I Dream of Gene, pop that can and
man, that'd be the invention of the millennial.
Sex
machine.
You know what? For me now, I think I'm more of the. Let me get these half glasses off. I think I'm more of now you have to have a person who, number one, attracts you, who mentally, physically, all of that. Okay, if this person is, and this is just me talking. Okay, if this person is demanding that you do it every day, and a lot of stuff happens. Okay, so you may not want to do it every day.
That's what I'm talking about.
Even though I love it, I may not want to do it every day, but me, I like to be. I'm adventurous. All right, I'm adventurous. So if we on the highway,
80 miles an hour.
dude, it starts off. It starts off at speed limit, and then as things get on, you lose your mind a little bit. So
Sounds like going down Lakeshore Drive to me.
Ooh.
That's what I was thinking.
thank you. I've been there before, but
That's what was going through my mind.
it's just the moments. I'm spontaneous. I love to be spontaneous. So I really don't care where. I am respectful of other people, but other people need to learn from. I guess what I'm doing. It's I don't hide too much. I'm not going to say that I'm the best or that I'm big boned. I'm physically.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not going to say all of that because we are parental discretion. But I'm saying people mistake when somebody tells you I love them. You're not in love. You're just saying in love. Okay, but some people mistake it for in love. And I know I'm skipping all over the place, but I just think that when it strikes you, go ahead. And it's a beautiful thing when two people, especially when two people are in sync. All right.
Yeah.
We had a conversation last night, and we should talk about this to the one night stands. What happens on these one night stands? Okay.
I was getting there.
Yeah. We need to talk about that too. But before we do, let's put a little life coaching in it, man.
Yeah. What up, y'all?
Developer to the show.
Yep. What's up, Jeff?
Good, y'all. How y'all feeling?
Jeff,
How about you?
I'm feeling better now.
I'm so proud of my little sister, man. She came in, man, pretty strong, man. She came in and did her
Hey,
thing.
Jeff, have anybody ever tried to rename you Dr. J Real?
I don't know. That's something y'all gonna call me. It's some weight heavy
Dr.
behind that.
J
name.
Real.
We're gonna start calling you that. I call Maurice Ice Cold Pepper.
Okay, I'll take the nickname. I'm with it.
If you from
Yeah.
Chicago, you
Well, what I did is I was messing around. I actually recorded one of your shows and pulled the audio off of it, and I was gonna try to get permission to post it on to the radio station so people could actually just catch any one of them anytime. But they could do that here, so I kind of backed off. But I did that, Coach J Real. I did it actually by mistake.
Okay.
I put a period behind a J.
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Dang, R-E." I said, "Wait a minute, R-E-E." I did it, and then I just left it like that, J Real.
Innovation usually comes from mistake, brother.
Yeah.
So Jeff, we know that you got, you're very spiritual guy.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just keep it 100, right? That does not mean that you keep it in the closet. You know what I'm saying?
I don't.
He said that with conviction.
You should hold the Mentos up on that.
That's J Real.
Yeah,
That's J Real.
Mentos moment right there. You see that? You pop all the fresh breath.
Real.
When you're in the game.
But that's
important too.
Yeah. It is important because you can get in that moment, and all of a sudden, because I'm telling you, I've had moments where I just got through eating some Chinese food, and she want to go ahead on and get it, and I'm like, all the H words and all of the everything. Hey girl, hey honey, and the breath is not the best at that moment. You know what I mean? So, but she go, y'all troopers, ladies, y'all. Look, y'all some troopers, okay? Because me, I do the test sometimes. I do that, okay? But understand, if my breath is humming that bad, and you must really, really like me.
I think that's what love is.
Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, I'm like, what about the spur in the moment?
I think that's what love is.
If her breath was like that, man, I'm hopping up. I'm gone. I'm gonna get the fire extinguisher. Okay,
so what if y'all are together? Y'all just finish eating. Y'all eating and watching. Y'all Netflix and chilling, eating, right? Okay, start getting spicy. What you just not go because her breath smell like onion? Y'all just both.
Nah, I'm gonna get her a sponsorship with Listerine.
You know what?
You can always be respectful though. You know, put some gum or some mints in your mouth, and then, hey, you want one?
Okay, so what do you tell?
She say no.
Greg, I'm
What do
gonna
you
tell you
tell-
like this: if both of us was humming and we knew both of us was humming, we can get past that.
That's
We can
what
worry
I'm
about that
saying.
afterwards.
True.
Afterwards.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so
Yeah.
Trey, what do you tell L?
Dang.
Well, about what? His breath?
I mean, what if y'all trying to get into it and then
If it's bad?
His breath stink. I don't know. He
Well,
stank. His thing stink. I don't know. He was sweating. He went to the gym. He hooping with some guys. I don't know. What do you tell him? And he wants something, okay, so what if he wants a little bit of action and you go down there and you like, you know what, baby, that's not even what you want to do.
If she go there, ooh, if she go there, man.
None ya.
It's different. It's a little bit different when you're married. Because I don't have to say anything. I just don't do it. So he already know what time it is. So it's just that simple.
Hey, go in the bathroom, come in there, smell like brute. My preference.
Hey, look here. When the intentions are high and you know what time it is, you gonna freshen up.
Yeah.
Real quick.
I come back from work 5 days and I already know it's been hot. I'll be like, you know what? Let me just do a little bit of that.
But when you've been with somebody for so long, you kind of like work an angle, meaning like you work around it. You know what I mean? You work around it. But when you just meeting somebody, I suggest you tell them, because don't get comfortable with it if you're not feeling that person.
Up here smelling like
But
junk.
Maurice, you're right. You can get around it.
Yeah.
You can get around it. We'll talk about it afterwards.
Way around this. If she's smelling like Morris Day in the Time doing jungle love,
Dang, Greg, you went back and back.
Smelling like Jerry Curl juice.
Yeah, exactly. Coming up looking like
All right. Greg, I'm gonna give you my picture now, Greg. Just to give everybody your picture. Hold on. Y'all go ahead and talk.
No, we're gonna wait on this.
To sow my royal oats.
I want to sow my royal oats.
Man, no, I feel you. I want that to be the core comment of the day. What Tree said. Okay, she said she married, so she ain't gotta say nothing. She just not doing it. She the opposite of Nike. She ain't doing it. She not doing
Don't do it.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. Now, it does depend on what type of mood I am, and that's just that goes for any man or woman, but especially for the women, it depends what kind of mood I am, or let's just say if I'm mad, or let's just say if he pissed me off, or if I'm just mad at him, then I'm gonna tell him. That's just a whole different ball game right there. I may not be nice.
Okay, I have a question.
But that making effect is good.
Hey, that's what I was gonna say. Ain't it something?
Yeah.
like,
Maybe I have an angle going on here. I like to argue.
There you go. Ain't it something when y'all been going at it one good one and y'all done had the heated moment, and then you be like, you know what? You be looking at her, she be looking at you, or in general, y'all just be looking at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Just
looking, and that thing back up on you. You say, "Hey, hold on."
You get some act right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Act right.
Yeah.
You know, everybody happy before you go to sleep.
That's true. But see, you guys are lucky. You know, Maurice, probably not you, but now I don't know about you, but you know, you guys don't have kids in the house, so it's a little different. You know, you can't always high pitch because you got kids in the house.
Oh, yeah,
I think it was. I think it was one comedian who said something. You start sounding like a seal in the middle of the night.
That's what a side position comes in. You know,
Lord have mercy.
that's what a side position come in at a lot.
I was just about to say, okay, so what happens? Have y'all ever? Be honest. I know your daddy was just on yesterday, but be honest.
Girl, that's fine.
Have you ever done it like spontaneously, like Greg said, like in your parents' house? Grown, not
absolutely
grown. I'm talking as an adult, not a teenager.
Yeah.
Jeff, come back.
Yes. The answer is yes.
Okay.
Nine.
How about the friend's house? In the bathroom, if you want to get technical, because sometimes you just in the garage, you just you give that nod head. You know what time it is. And
what
then,
y'all be doing under the dinner table? Y'all sitting at dinner?
No.
No,
Now-
Tree, she might got an angle. Like she said, let you know. Okay,
Yeah.
after this, we finna dip out.
Yeah, I get ahead. Like,
I'm gonna tell you this,
you know
man,
what time it is.
and I'm gonna be honest. So if my brothers are watching, hey y'all, I'm sorry. I made it a point to do it in the house because I couldn't do it when I was little. All right. So I made a point to just and every single room, even
Go back there.
even mom and dad's room. Hey, look, man, every room was, and I told old girl, I said, we ain't done. I said, give me my 20-minute recovery period. We going to the next room, okay? And so forth and so on. I mean, look, every single room, man, doorknobs, up the ass.
See,
Are you just marking territory now?
Huh?
You marking your territory now?
Yeah,
No,
like,
I didn't get a chance to do it when I was little.
see, the question is, did he keep it clean though?
I mean, it was
did
just
you sanitize?
going.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah, did you?
Probably not.
No,
Well, they didn't tell us to back then, and COVID wasn't out.
Bye.
Computer drop.
Wait,
Oh,
But
okay.
Nye, who's thinking about sanitizing at that time in that moment?
Nobody.
No. Like, did you do it in your parents' bed? Please.
It wasn't in their bed. It was just in the
That's
room.
pushing it.
I
No,
was
it
gonna
was
say, 'cause then you
It was
know,
just in the
people
room.
sheets, that's nasty. You just.
That's pushing it. In they basement, in the back room, in the bathroom. That's But in the bed, that's pushing it.
That's nasty.
Be my luck. It'd be my luck. I'd have got called mid-stroke at my bathroom from my daddy.
Now I did do this, and my brother stopped me just in the nick of time. So I had picked up this girl, and I had keys to my brother's apartment, and so he went. He worked way far. Okay, he worked in Schaumburg, Illinois. I was still in Gary at the time. He worked in Schaumburg, Illinois, and so I knew I had a good. Even if he was to come back home 3-4 hours, I was gonna tie that ad up. Okay, so got her, picked her up, brought her in. Okay, I cooked the breakfast at his house. Okay, washed the dishes and everything. I did not know that my brother, my brother's so meticulous. Every single piece of anything that he had in his house, he knew exactly how he left it. He knew exactly where it was, how it was supposed to be. No dust was there. And so I had the girl, and we was just, man, she's beautiful too. We was just about to do that. All of a sudden, I'm hearing keys. First thing in my mind is, what the hell? So he walked in, and he come in, and he looks. He mad. He looks, and he says, okay, I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. And then he leaves. And so I'm like, girl, we got 10 minutes, okay?
Back in them days, it's all over the ceiling, on the wall.
Whatever. We had a discussion about it. I said, dude, man, I'm glad you came. I'm sorry. Okay, but man, hey, 8 minutes, I was done. I was gone. It's over. So yes, hey, this is what we did back in the day. I don't know how y'all do it now, but
I think it's worse.
Yeah.
You said it's worse?
Yeah.
Hey.
Look at how y'all dance now, okay? The guy gets up on the wall and the girl come back there and twerk all over him, okay? And
it's like a strip club kind of thing.
It is. I went to one. I dropped my son off at one party, and I said, "Okay, I'm gonna hang around a little bit because it's my son. I want to see what he's doing." And this one guy had his guys holding him up.
Yeah, that's how I roll, man. You gotta have a support system back there.
Yeah.
You know?
Everybody gets a turn.
I guess.
Crazy.
Hey, did you see the pictures I sent you?
I'm gonna see him in this. Oh Lord, have mercy.
But Tree,
was a prom.
How is it worse?
For this generation?
Girl, I'm a millennial. I'm not Generation Z. And so like I'm the cutoff. So anybody after like 1998, maybe 1999, I give 2000. That's even okay. Anybody after like 2000, like that's generation. The other people who grew up with technology. See, we had floppy disks and box computers when I was growing up.
No.
Maurice was a strapping young fellow back in the day.
Your mama made you show up to picture
Prom. That's prom
with a shirt
picture.
and a tie?
Mm,
Prom.
Hey,
That's the prom.
Okay,
Fat tie there, boy.
shut up.
But
man,
yeah, explain this. But I think this is Generation Z, but because there's some millennials who are in their 30s. But continue. Go ahead.
Sure. I mean, it's because you know what? People want to explore. So I'm not saying Maurice and Jeff and Greg didn't have the urge to explore stuff, but nowadays people want to explore.
I'm 31.
Why did you leave
I
yourself
want
out
to
of that exploration?
explore.
Why did you leave yourself out of that exploration period?
I know, right? I'm gonna look
You
you
hold on to that.
She so did.
You know, they want to explore. It's different. It's different. You want to see what else is out there. You're curious. You want to see how far things go. You may like it.
Like this is the perfect time to share a little bit of, some of y'all know what I went through. Told y'all a little bit of that story there. See, when I sat up here and I was going through that part of my divorce of my life, I sat up here, I kind of dabbled in some things. my life.
I used to say when I first got
I like
divorced,
how you got to think about it.
my dog ears and tail came out.
Well, I knew exactly what I was doing. I'll be transparent with it all. I ain't got nothing to hide out here in these streets. So I was in the lifestyle for a little bit. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna look your way.
All right. No.
So with the lifestyle, that's when you can either go in single or you go in as a couple. Now, in the lifestyle, couples swap partners. Right. Like you go. I'm talking about not no man, no woman. I'm talking about swapping partners of the opposite sex, and you have permission to go ahead and sleep with them. Now, I was in that single. You know what I mean? So, and when
you've been down there to that house in Country Club Hills.
What? It was a household. It was a hotel over there. It was a couple houses over there. There was places out there.
All they do there.
Hey,
that was a house.
They get down. They get down in Illinois.
That was a house that did that for real.
He knows what I'm talking about.
I've been there about 4 times.
Yeah.
Now, before she got on, I was really the only person from Chicago, so I didn't have no references or anything I could relate to. When y'all start talking about Gary, I'd be like, I don't know nothing. But now she on here, and I'm over here like, dang.
Is Copper Box 2 and Nimbus and all that stuff still open over in Chicago?
No. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, but because when I was doing that, you start finding out some stuff. Hey, I'm gonna tell you some things, man. I sat up here. I was what they call a bull.
Can you elaborate?
Tree gonna have me tell my whole life. I don't mind, no. Let's tell it. So this is the deal. As a bull, you a brother. You know what I mean? And when you're a brother, you go ahead and you sleep with the white women, because that's what they like. You know what I mean? So you usually the one in charge. You know what I mean? Now I had permission. We would go out on dates to some of the parties and stuff like that. That's what we would do. And I would pretty much watch over dude's wife. And then I could just smash, do whatever. We out here. It was the whole nine. That I could do that. I have permission to do that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's heavy in Illinois out here. It's heavy. It's heavy. Very heavy.
Bruh, I'm telling you, I Tree, when you said that, it down my spine, because I've been 4 times. I've been there.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't millennials. We ain't really having that. I don't know
because y'all don't do anything.
They just don't.
You guys are. You are.
They don't really be doing that.
Maybe not the people you be talking to.
There was some buck wild stuff going on here in Nashville. They was having these rave parties, and they was doing that stuff in the men's and the ladies' bathroom.
Okay, so so I
That's
feel
right,
like
Marie.
you guys are associating this with trains, and isn't normally the person single? Everybody, I don't know. People do be passing to their bros, so I don't know. I ain't got.
No, when you go into those, when you go into those like that, okay, everybody goes in knowing what's getting ready to go down. Okay,
exactly. Everybody knows.
I feel like we don't really. Maybe it's the younger.
Y'all stuff is borderline rape. What y'all be doing though, man? Y'all stuff is borderline just
Yeah,
I'm gonna take
yeah,
it.
that I don't disagree with. That's
Yeah, it'd be a little wild.
no, they don't nobody be knowing what's going on. They don't be knowing what they walking into. They don't be knowing what to expect. It's not like that. It's not necessarily consensual. It's a
Have you?
surprise, or they get too drunk,
Hmm.
or they get pressured into it. It's not the same.
We don't be drunk, but have any of you guys ever been to a nude beach?
My mom was
Never.
talking about
I've
that.
always
Yes.
wanted to go, but I've never been.
I've
Yes.
been.
How
I've
was
been.
it?
It was
Yes.
cool. It was
I've been with my girlfriends and I've been with my man.
Austin,
It's cool.
Texas. Yeah.
It's cool. Again, we being older than you now, when I say we know how to have
Fun.
yeah, basically fun. It's intimate fun, and we know how to make it. We know how to make it.
Dang.
We know how to keep control of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She just
Y'all,
tried to make it seem like we boring. She said, "Yeah, we know how to have fun."
because it's
Why you trying? Now, why you trying to sit there and
Yeah.
act like you don't know what's going on in the world today?
that stuff is scary. That stuff is scary. Okay,
I'm in
y'all.
a
Yeah.
I'm in a bubble.
Pop out, girl. Pop out.
He said
know.
pop out.
I have no interest. You see how crazy these people are? I have no interest
Yes.
in popping out.
So
Yeah.
now, would you go to a new beach?
Yeah.
And would you? But see, there's people that go there and
But then you heard? Did you hear
they
Sage?
bottom on or they top. You know.
But did you hear Sage? She
No, I
said
didn't
where?
She said what?
She said go where? When I said
Nude,
yes,
a
she said go
nude
where?
beach. Tell her a nude naked ass beach.
Is that your daughter?
No, that's my
That's
wife.
her wife.
But I don't have any kids. No kids for me. I'm too young. I'm
She
not
said,
too young to produce. I'm just not too
But just live your life, girl. Live your life.
Let's say hi. You guys always see L and
She
9.
yeah,
ain't
she
never
don't.
coming on.
Yeah, say she ain't. We just discovered this at the beginning. We established this. She
Sage
don't
ain't
have
never.
any.
Hi.
She
Hey,
said hi.
shout out to L too. Tell L said what's up.
She said hi. How are you?
I'm good,
Yeah,
girl. I'm
She's
goody.
not getting on camera.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised L ain't checked me yet.
What do you wait. Why would you want L to check you? What'd you do?
L keep me straight.
He does. Let me bring him in. Hold on. Hold please.
She said hold please. Okay. But okay, so I want to get back to now that we have Jeff and Tree on preferences. Okay. Jeff, do you and Megan have like established
Mhm.
roles as far as like when it's gonna go down, what's gonna go down during that time, foreplay, all that? Are you guys like basically like do you require her to be like, well, if I give you head, then you gotta give me head, or I'm not doing that, or whatever?
It's just more. I know she all in. She dove in.
Hey,
Didn't she? Dove in.
She-
I'm more
Tell
like
Al.
it's just more like it's just whatever happened gonna happen. My thing is we all about that connection. We all about that intimacy. We get it. We connect first, doing something, whether it be touching lightly or kissing or something like that.
Walk
Like
past that. Paya.
there you go. Because like she told me today, I was over there on the computer doing some stuff. I got done taking a couple calls, and we talked for a moment. She was like, "Look, I just need that man. I just need him to just scoop me up. Because she's small, you know what I mean." So she was like, "I just need," and I was like, "Girl, come over here." So I went over there. I did a little something. I went back to my computer. I had to girt the loins and bring it down. It wasn't the time.
He said gird loins. This dude here.
But yeah, we just go with the flow, girl. You know what I mean? But majority of the time, it's always 90% of the time, it's that intimacy.
Again, I want to make sure that I put out here the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live and not necessarily Dope Living TV or its affiliates. And this is a more mature discussion. So if you got kids around that may happen to hear a couple of little things, okay, congratulate them, pat them on the back, shake their hand, okay? They learned it now, okay? So anyway.
Hi, El.
Hi.
What's up, El?
What's going on, Jeff?
And
What's going on, man?
now I have to be different now, so let me stop. Okay.
Don't never stop being yourself.
Well, it's hard to do that when you got a brother like I consider L my dude. Okay, so I I gotta sit up. I gotta,
Adjust your posture.
I gotta get it right.
Yeah, I do. Hey,
I gotta use every syllable. I gotta make sure that you hear the T.
You doing something. You doing something great, because I'm gonna tell you something. When we were back in the day, I couldn't get this, man. Shit, trying to see that right there? Wait, there, right there. We be back there laughing so hard, man. We get in trouble for laughing.
I was class. Hey, look, I was a stellar student, but I was a class clown. I had people laughing, and they gave the award for the best.
You gonna bring this back up again?
Yes, I'm gonna bring it again because I was hurt.
Daryl.
Maurice, look,
yeah, look, bro,
at school. You knew I was. You knew I was. This nigga, this dude.
We on the air.
We have now reached the level of culpability on DopelivenTV Live, everybody.
I gotta talk about that. This dude won most humorous for doing ham bone. Ham bone, baby.
Yeah. That was like, really?
That's not funny.
Yeah.
I even talked about him. Because I was good. I used to be good, dude. Speaking of good.
Hey, Bree.
What's up, Bree?
Well, I pressed the wrong button, actually, but yeah, Bree.
What's up, Jada?
Hey, Jada.
Mr. Quick Fingers.
See? That's part of it. That's part
of
it.
Gina.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Gina.
Gina came
My
right
man
on
said.
for my next question.
Gina, she said you came just. Hey, nah, you kind of low. Your volume is kind of low.
It's getting low.
It's kind of low, yeah.
Greg, you was kind of freezing up too. We saw a lot of slow.
Hey, look, don't worry about me. I get off.
Strokes and motions going on.
Don't worry about me. I'll come off completely.
Gina, you got that. You got that mama.
You got that grandma face on.
Don't you do that.
Can y'all hear me?
Do it.
I'll beat you with a water.
Yeah, that is that face too.
we seen it, Gina.
Well, you know what?
Gina, before I ask her question, I have a question. Is Robert in the room?
He's in the other room.
Can he hear me?
No.
Stupid, right?
You want me to ask him to come to the camera?
Oh, hell no.
He said, not today.
Tree said yes.
Hey, look, I'm not getting my ass whooped by this.
Well, he's on his way. So whatever question y'all gonna ask me, y'all gotta ask him.
That's right, Gina.
No, man, I'm good. Go ahead, Nye.
I ain't scared. No,
She said I ain't scared.
She ain't.
Bree said that you know what you did. LOLZ. I don't know which comment she was talking about, but there it is. Go ahead.
Somebody in trouble.
Yeah, somebody.
What happened, Bree?
Right. Let us know. But my question was, since we were talking about intimacy and back in the day and how y'all were and everything, who has ever cheated? And you gotta be honest. Who's ever stepped out? You could have been younger. You could have been like a teenager, but I prefer you to talk to me about it.
You got all these married people on here. You gonna ask a question?
She like judging.
What's happening?
I can answer honestly.
Listen, not on your partner. I mean, you might not want to broadcast that, and that's a one-on-one conversation. Don't broadcast that here, because let me put this. I'm not liable for any discussions, breakups, or anything that comes because of this. But in general, don't if you didn't get that with your partner, don't tell me.
I'm gonna take a hit for all of y'all couples. Okay, I cheated all the time.
Yeah, we know.
I didn't.
Hi, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Robert.
Greg, you cheated. Who you cheated on?
I honestly.
He changed
that up.
No, it depends on what you mean.
Hey, Nye.
Wait. Did he just say it depends on what you mean?
I knew Gina was coming.
Get that one.
Hear me out.
Hey, Nye. Maybe it's
when they consent cheating.
Wasn't met.
Hear me out.
I didn't hear
Here
you.
we go. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, so y'all can see that I'm honest with this. Here's what we're talking about. All right, so if I'm in I've been married, never cheated on my wife at all, okay? But I've had girlfriends, never cheated on my girlfriend per se, Okay, but this is what I'm saying. Depending on
What the hell is this per se?
Can we define cheating?
Girl, what?
Because some people, no, let me explain. Some people think, let me explain. Some people think talking to another female is not cheating, but you're flirting. That's causing temptation.
It all depends on where the conversation go and how it started.
Uh-oh.
Robert.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
All the time.
So it matters. Define cheating.
Okay.
Thank you. That's what I'm trying
Robert
to.
said.
That's why I said it depends on what you mean by cheating. Okay, flirting. You think flirting is cheating?
Let me say something.
What are you flirting for?
Women flirt every day, every hour.
What?
Yeah.
Women flirt, Robert.
Don't know they do it.
Hey, Robert, where you at? Where you at, boy? I agree with you.
Dang.
Don't know they do it.
Wait. Jesus sitting right next to him.
What is that?
Because, let me explain that. I explain it as okay.
Go ahead, qualify, brother.
Because us guys, when we reach a certain age, it's only one concept we have on our minds, and our journey of life is basically saying, okay, if I like her, let me see how far I can go with her. And some women like attention. I will say 90% of them, they like attention. They women. That's a female instinct. No offense to women. I love the sisters. I love them all day long. I'm just speaking the truth. You say you want the truth. I'm speaking the truth.
Huh?
Okay. Not saying that they're about to cheat or take to another level. You got some that do, just like you got males that do. It goes both ways. But then you got to have the instinct ability to know that, okay, I'm already chosen for through the universe and the person that I'm with. So you got to know how to take the conversation and how to deal with the conversation. Okay, not take the conversation to the point where it's that, okay, I'm liked by this gentleman or maybe one or two gentlemen that I'm going to leave in the back burner that I may or may not get in touch with them if I'm upset or mad with my significant other. It goes both ways now. I'm just not just talking about female. The thought had occurred to both sides. But the thing is, though, the point is, when you acknowledge it and when it becomes a problem. When I mean a problem is when it comes to the point where it's being acknowledged by both sides, then that constitutes as cheating. That's mental cheating. So there's different ways of cheating. That's mental cheating. So now you put someone on the back burner and saying like, okay, well, maybe somewhere along down the line, you can't do long down the line. Long down the line is cheating.
Bingo.
It matters.
Basically,
It matters how you define
basically, you justifying. You justifying what you finna do.
Yeah, you justify. So that's cheating. So when you mentally justify it, you just cheated, and you just cheated mentally.
Uh-huh.
Hey,
Wow, that's a hell of a way to go. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta make a note of this. I ain't said a word through all of that. I'm just here with my arms crossed. I think that me personally, cheating. Once you, as Robert said, once you confirm it, once you confirm that flirting has gone to a different level, now you're cheating. Okay, once the confirmation is there. Okay, and I want to make note of this. Okay, and I'm not knocking anybody, but y'all know we got some. Okay, we're all spiritual, but we got a couple of religious people on here. They ain't on here. They're not on here.
Huh.
And why aren't they on here? And I'm saying it because I know they're watching. Okay,
I'm religious.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a religious person. I believe that there is a God, but also I am a human entity. We are all a human entity.
I call it spiritual.
We do have feelings in whatever direction that we chose to go in.
So
I'm not knocking anybody.
does that mean that everybody on this panel have cheated?
No, I didn't mean that. No.
No.
Yeah.
Me personally, I feel like
Jim.
there's no point. I feel like if you were to the point where you don't want that person no more or you want somebody else,
Bye
Why
bye.
don't you just leave them?
Yeah, just
I
leave.
don't understand.
But
That
see,
sounds stupid.
we're not built as human. We ain't built that way. Okay, we're gonna try to have our cake and we're gonna try to eat it too.
Be for
Okay,
Okay,
yourself.
devil's advocate.
you know we don't like for men, for instance, and any man on here can confirm this or not. Okay, for a man, if we're married or we're in a committed relationship or we living together or something like that, all right, we have invested a lot of time, energy, and money into this woman. Okay, so we went out there and cheated. Okay, we ain't gonna just leave because of the fact that okay, we getting our cake right now, all right, but we got a whole lot invested in this, and if she goes, we're gonna lose a lot. Okay, we got egos, and our egos gonna be messed up. Okay, as well as our
Was that slice of cake worth all that you just said?
exactly.
I mean, what's worth it? Obviously, an individual came with that decision like, okay, it's not even worth it. I can always start over. It's not the point of always starting over. If you mentally compatible or you mentally locked with that person, it doesn't make please. I don't care if Beyonce, I don't care. Matter of fact, I don't find her good looking at all myself, me personally. But yeah, it's a mental thing. Okay, I'm not 20 no more. I'm not 18. I'm not even in my 30s. Hell, I'm not even 40s. So you gotta look at it for the long haul. Okay, because me personally, I don't want the drama at all. Me at all. I don't want the drama at all. Period. So I'm not gonna bring drama. Okay, whatever I need to do with that young lady, I can have the mental image of her, but I can turn around and say, you know what? I can come home and do that with her all day long. So it all depends on how you approach the situation and what matters in your life. Now,
Robert, that's the same old soup every day.
But you gotta remember this too.
not really when you throw some chicken or beef in it. It's not add a few vegetables and stuff like that. That's not the same soup.
Hey, Rob, hey, get some dessert going on later on. You know,
Exactly, man. It lasts longer than the soup. So
go ahead, Nye.
I'm not never used to the same soup.
So since you said that, so let's bring it back to what we were talking about earlier. Okay, so you with this person or whatever, and you can do the same thing, X, Y, Z. So what happens when you get tired or your needs aren't getting met, or you feel like something's going on in your relationship or whatever, and you feel the need to step out? So how do you mitigate that?
That's all in the mind, no, Nyla.
My bad,
That's all in the mind.
I'm talking to the men. I'm not talking to the women right now.
Okay, I'm gonna get back then.
I can answer that. See, the thing is though, when you feel that something not going on the way you're supposed to, that means you and your significant other have to sit down and talk about it.
hey, that's what I said earlier. Exactly what I said.
You need to have a trustworthy and understanding realism discussion about it as adults.
Communication.
Okay, because it goes all the way back to, like Greg said, the same soup. That's when you got to mix it up. That's when you got to put the nurse's uniform on, the police's outfit. And you got to start. You know what I'm saying? You got to put a little. I say you got to put more. You know what I'm saying? You got to put more dribbling and licking in the game. We all got to
put the blonde wig on.
You got to be real about it.
Maybe some nice, stiletto.
Stilettos with nothing else on, just stilettos.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna be real about it, be real about it. See, the fact that you gotta make it up here.
Okay.
You gotta say, is it worth it? You always go back to, is it worth it?
I got a question for my little
fantasy too.
I got a question for my little sister Gina now. Gina, how tall are your heels?
5 inches, nothing under 3 inches.
Since you asked, it's 4 pairs, Greg. Since you asked, 4 pairs. Since you want to go out there with it, it's 4 pairs. Red, black, white, and straight gray.
All right, Robert, damn.
I'm saying you went out there. I'm just saying.
Girl, you know what's true.
The game is open today.
And at the point, you look at the heels one time.
That's it.
The heels just like, oh, that's it.
That was light the fire, right?
Yeah.
So that's start the fire because they're gonna go off anyway.
Has anybody ever used
exactly?
Has anybody ever used food like cheesecake that you really don't have.
Not cheesecake, but honey is always good.
Yeah,
You don't always have a
like
whole
that, honey.
cheesecake. You only get a slice of the cheesecake that you can use.
Oh, he gonna keep
This
using
guy.
that tree. He gonna keep coming for you. He only get a slice of the cheesecake.
So that means that your experiences is limited because you only got a slice, not the whole pie. But it's cool. It's cool. Lisa got some freaking her too. She said absolutely. She said absolutely. Hey, Robert, she probably got 4 or 5 pair. Hey, Lisa, leave your number in my inbox. All right.
Okay, but Tree still ain't answering the question. She over here mixing and stirring the pot, talking about stuff. You gotta define it. And what does it? Okay, answer the question.
It matters.
Okay, we defined it. Now answer. What's your answer?
What's your question? Repeat it.
What's the question? Okay, have you ever cheated? Not in this relationship. In general.
Ever.
No.
Okay.
Nah.
You.
Nah.
Hey, I'm just asking. I just want to know.
I'm just saying we'll never know.
Nah.
We'll really never know, but I just want to know. You could be young. You could have been 18.
Hold on.
That's why you be single. Why would you be commitment for something that you know what you like to do?
Yep.
That's what you're single for.
Okay, now let me ask you that question.
So when you make that decision that it's going to be a committed relationship, then it shouldn't be any cheating.
Come on, what you doing?
Because you don't have to be in a committed relationship.
Yes, thank you. Okay.
Because why are you wasting my time and yours?
Exactly, because why are you dating just to date? Just what? For what? You ain't got no purpose. But
okay,
here goes
millennial.
Brad talking about
Okay,
you
now.
can have the cake and eat it too, and you done committed and invested time in it. I don't care. You can't get my time back, and they ain't gonna give me my money back. So I might as well.
Freezer.
Millennial.
So look, I hear y'all, all of y'all coupled up people. I guess I'm the only one that ain't. Okay, but look,
there's a reason.
There comes a moment when, especially for me, and Gina, you know some of the recent relationships I've had. I had one that just won't come on here, period. Okay, but when they get on your nerves so bad, and I'm just asking the question, when they get on your nerves so bad, like the last one I had, she was in the industry. Okay, she was an actress, and she started doing some stuff that I just couldn't understand. Getting on Twitter. And because she got this new thing that's coming out, I guess that's her way of promoting. She turned 46, and she started. She got on Twitter with a negligee on and said, "I still got it, this and that, and all this old junk." If you have, I'm trying to give you some sage advice that you don't have to do that in order to promote yourself. But then that gets us, stuff like that gets on my nerves. Okay, why would you have to do something like that?
Did you communicate to her, Greg, that you didn't dig that?
Dude, she stood right here. Okay, you know who I'm talking about. And I was like,
I'm about to ask, how that affected him?
I communicated it, but it's my thing is this. That's just the little things like that make me, and I guess because I'm not in a committed relationship, that makes me want to get away. Okay, because I know what I want as far as my peace goes, and that's not a part of my peace. I don't do that stuff.
Do you feel that? I'm sorry, keep going.
I was just saying, I talk a lot here, but if you know me, when I'm around you guys, okay, I will talk because I love you guys, okay. But when I'm doing business, I'm a completely different person, and when I'm doing my me time, I'm quiet. I'm very quiet. All right. So this is show. So I have to do this, okay, because this is what I do. This is what I do for a living. But I'm quiet, so I want somebody that's going to enhance my peace. Okay, and that's really hard to find because, as far as what I'm saying, okay, because, and maybe I'm looking in the industry, and that's maybe not the place I should be looking.
Well, I was gonna say, do you think like with her wearing like the negligee and all that stuff, it brings attention? Like you don't want a woman that's gonna bring a lot of attention to herself. Is that what that is? That's what I'm.
I want her to uplift herself. Okay.
Okay, I got you.
The thing is this: certain things that you do like that,
yeah,
that's going to take away from what your goal. That's going to take away from it. You don't have to do that. You don't have to let the world know that you because right now your self-esteem must be pretty low for you to have to get on there and say, okay, I want y'all to know that I still got it. Why would you want it? You should only want me to know that you still have it.
Well, What I would say is, because I know exactly who you're talking about, because we had this discussion already about this particular instance too. Well, if I take out like the fact that I know the whole situation, and I just like look at it from a broad perspective, she is in the industry, like as an actress, so I get it. Like there's some things that, even though you may say you don't have to market this way or whatever, even Gabrielle Union and Tia Mari, I see them on TikTok, or I see them, even though like Dwayne Wade is with her a lot or her baby's with her a lot, she still posts, and the captions be, Sanaa Lathan, whoever, the captions are, sometimes a little provocative, and they have partners. I think it's just maybe you shouldn't look in the industry, because I think it might be an industry thing. All these people are around the same age as individuals. So I'm thinking that it might be, there might be producers or managers or whoever in the air telling them, you need to do this to get a certain attention, even if they have their own mind. I don't know. That's just a thought.
Well, my thought on that is, okay, at the end of the day, that individual was in the entertainment industry before you met her. So it's not like, and what I've researched about this person, and I know friends that actually know her, researched about this person, and they stated that she's not the cheating type. She's the image type. But if she was in that situation when you met her, this was her life when you met her. This was how she was doing before you met her. So it's not like she just
suddenly started
jumped into it and she just want attention. This is her life. This is her lifestyle.
But Robert, there's a certain semblance of respect that you have for your mate.
No, I understand what you're saying. I get, Greg. I get what you're saying. Okay, that's what I mean when I said communication is the key. If it's not your cup of tea and you describe it with her and y'all have discussion, okay, you as a man, you need to say, okay, well, like you just stated, okay, this ain't for me. But it's understandable because you have that right. But the thing is, though, this is her lifestyle before you met her. So it wasn't like you were surprised by it. You knew this when you met her. True. So whatever decision that you come up with, it is what it is. Because we are all individuals first and foremost. So just understand, and she needs to understand, and you will need to understand that, okay, she was like this before you met her. So now, whatever decision y'all come up with, whatever, hey, it is what it is. You my boy, whatever, man. Hey, but understand the bigger format of the whole situation, though. Mm-hmm. Okay, the picture was there before you met her. The picture was already there.
Right. And the other thing is,
obviously you knew the picture. You knew the picture was there when you chose to be with this woman. It was there before you met her. So it wasn't like she wasn't like this when you met her.
And the other thing is that, based on what Robert is saying, like that I'm also like in agreement with, is that because of the industry she's in, she's an actress. So image is big. Like her image is big. So like they're in the public eye. They're expected to post on Instagram, Twitter, Snap. Like that's expected of them. So like you kind of have to. Part of that is their business, because there are certain things that she might be a model or an ambassador for Fenty, Savage Fenty, which is Rihanna's brand, right?
Yeah.
And in that, there's lingerie. She might need to. I see people, YouTube stars, people in the public eye. She may be taking pictures in that. That might be part of her bag. I mean, sometimes because of what industry she's in, you might have to separate business from this is her, and although this is her personal page, that's also her business. Like her as herself is her own brand. She is it. And you separate that from your personal.
Let me say this though. The thing was this. And in the industry, image is everything. Okay, that is correct. All right. But when you're under certain scrutiny, all right, there's certain things that the producers and people want you, or a certain way, I should say, to promote yourself, and there's a certain way that they don't want you to promote yourself. Now, and then there's a certain way that the public wants to see you as well. You have all of those things in perspective. Now, personally, I'm gonna tell you, her getting on there was not what bothered me. Her getting on there doing that was really not what bothered me. What bothered me was that this is a new project that you're doing. This is not what you want your fans to see, and this is not what the studio wants to see. All right. So my thing was more of, why would you do that? And this is brand new, even though you've been out there before. You lost what you had before. Now you're trying to regain it with something brand new, got a whole new push behind it, and this is what you put out. And the bottom line is, I was right that they canceled the show. All right. And a lot of the rumors speculated because of the way that she was acting on Twitter.
Maybe part of the reason, and I'm just spitballing here, right?
Spitballing. I like that term. Huh?
Maybe
try that
part
at
of
work.
the reason.
I'm just spitballing here, y'all.
because okay, so I hear what you're saying, and I'm in agreement with you because, like I said, I know the situation, but I'm thinking, right? So like, how do most people portray themselves on social media, like celebrities or whatever? Like you got like Kylie Jenner and whatever, like Ariana Grande, whoever, these young people. So like that's kind of like the fetish right now. Is portraying how she portrayed herself, right? So maybe, again, spitballing. So maybe he's like, well, I lost what I had, like you said, and I'm gonna try something new. And so let's try to get with the program, right? Because she's a little older, so let's try to do what the young kids are doing. So let me try to. Right, so like maybe she's like, well, this is what's hot on social media now, and she went about it the wrong way, but maybe that was her
just a little bit,
like Tree said, her angle.
Look, the bottom line is, we friends, we cool. Don't got to be in it if I don't want to. If my piece is upset, and people might say that that's a little bit too much. Okay, I'm not lacking. Let's put it like that. I'm not hurting at all. Okay, but my thing is, I just don't have what you guys have, and that's that one person to that you can go down the line with. All right, so and that's cool for me. I'm not hurting at all. But my thing is just expressing that one to you. That was just one situation.
Yeah, there's some other things you didn't like it too. So
huh?
I said there were some other things that went along with that too, though. So
oh yeah, it was a bunch of stuff. I mean, you know all of it. So, but I'm not going to put it all out there. Like I said, fantastic person. You know who you are, and I know you're watching. So, be cool. But yeah,
nice.
I had to put that disclaimer on there. You know what I mean?
This guy.
I had to put the disclaimer. But
one thing I can say, Greg, it's something you did that a lot of people don't do, is recognize when you don't want to accept something. And that's when relationships turn bad. Right. When you're in a relationship and you don't like what's happening, but you stay in there. You have to know when it's time to leave it alone. And especially relationships that turn volatile. It's because of all of this resentment that the person is holding inside and all the things that they took. Now, all of a sudden, boom, it's coming to a head now.
You can tell that it was volatile. That wasn't clapping no cheeks.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, you can't dwell a person. You can't dwell a person.
J real.
You can't dwell a person's badness on certain individuals, because remember, we're all we wouldn't blossom sheep from the get-go. None of us. So you can't say, oh, I don't like how this thing. What about what you're doing? What about how your side look, and what direction that you was in, and how the limelight may affect or not affect you or the ones around you? We can't never dwell on the situation about someone else's, especially we got a closet, and some of our closets may be fuller than anybody that we know. So that's not okay. See, now the only thing we need to do is when ourselves to say, you know what, how much, like you know what I'm saying, like my baby said, how much are we willing to accept? You know what I'm saying? How much we willing to accept? Because believe me, there is worse situations and worse people out there in this world. So how much? What?
I don't have a core bottle, but
That's facts right there. He gave some true
Mentos
facts.
moment, brother. Mentos moment.
Mentos, fresh and so clean.
Hey, Gina, you would be very proud of Nine. Nine came on here, man. She did 30 minutes strong, dude. I'm telling you, man.
Oh, you know I'm going back to see it, right?
Yeah, she did 30 strong, and Maurice was right there with her, man. 30 strong, y'all. I'm so proud of y'all, for real.
Good job.
Yeah,
Awesome. Yay.
Kudos.
Yeah.
it was cool. Kudos. Ain't that a candy bar or something?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead, keep on. Kudos. But yeah, I want to ask this question too, Nye. Fetishes. Some people like to get spanked. Some people like toes sucked. I mean, does fetishes add to it? I mean, do those kind of things add to the sexual height?
Some of those fetishes will run you away.
I feel like, yeah.
Yes.
I personally.
That's not really a fetish. Them called addictions.
Exactly.
I personally feel like women don't have as many, statistically speaking, women don't have as many fetishes as like they're not as prone to having a fetish as men. And like if we do say a man has a fetish or whatever, okay, for women it might be like a beard or like it might be like something. It's not like men's fetishes are different. Like baby,
Men don't have that many fetishes.
I need you to send me a picture of you putting peanut butter on your feet. Like so, and what? Like what is what?
I got what you say. What you say?
I'm like, what in the George Washington Carver you talking about?
Tell me, you know, people, men pay for feet.
Peanut butter on feet. What you doing?
Men have. There's a lot of men that have really bad foot fetishes, and that turns them on sexually.
That's true, man.
They pay for it.
What do their feet look like? Claw.
Hold on, let me.
OnlyFans. I bet you.
Tell me if you would put some peanut butter on these joints right here. Hold on.
No.
Come on, man. I just
They be specific. They be specific. Your second toe can't be bigger than your first toe.
I'm out.
They be real specific like about the feet. They want to see the
Are
bones.
you kidding?
They wanna...
Are you freaking kidding?
Maurice, my lawnmower broke one day, and I was out there doing the moonwalk all across my grass, man. I got it cut. Got it cut.
No, fetishes. I agree with Gina, man. They drive you away.
Some she said.
Some do.
Yeah, I went on the first date with a guy.
Come on, like
I went on the first date with a guy, and he asked me to take off my shoes so he could see my feet. And I was like, no, I never saw him again. Never.
Okay, hold up.
You were crazy.
But
that's a good thing.
Go ahead, Greg. I was just trying to say some guys, they like pretty feet. Like I've been out with someone and they wanted to see my feet because it was like if you didn't have pretty feet, it was like a sign of maintenance. Like you kept up with yourself and stuff.
They want to see what you're working with before they move forward.
Like, your feet, because they can see your hands and your nails can be done, but your feet, you got dead skin and I understand that because you gotta see.
I got a cousin and look at the shoes and tell if they feet bad. Say look at their shoes if they feet, if the toes, if the dangle at the edge of the toe, where the heel come together, if it's all crumpled up, got knots, she got cords.
He got cords on it. All type of cords. I dated a girl and she had horrible feet. I just didn't look at her.
That's moose knuckles. You got moose knuckles sticking out your. Man, come on.
On the flip side, Sage has beautiful feet. Feet are gorgeous.
The whole room.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Now, is that one of your fetishes, feet?
I don't have a foot fetish. I am the ass smacking person.
You the what?
The ass smacking.
Wait a minute. You see, I put my head to the microphone. What you say? What?
Don't repeat it, now.
One more time.
From feet to ass. Just going through the whole body anatomy.
I like me personally. I'm a. If I can say this, I love a woman who's. But I do like a big-breasted woman. I love a woman who's proportionate, and she's clean, and I I can't stand a woman that don't come outside when you got this nice little top on, your hair's done real well, makeup is cool, and then your belly say flat out. Okay.
Hey, he ain't lying.
Okay, and it's just out there, and you thinking you all, and then you got the nerve to have a ring in your navel. Come on, man, we can't see it anyway.
Stop.
Why would you put it in there? We can't see it.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
The big stomach woman, man.
You think she's sexy,
Don't
man?
nobody want to walk
like that though. Some women like.
Some guys love
like
that. You got some guys love that.
Some do like that big woman like that, you know.
They do.
They call it more cushion for the push, name.
But that's only in the winter time, right before February. Okay,
Lord.
you get them in October. You get them in October. Okay, wine and dine in October. You got them through the winter because sometimes your heat might come off. You want to get up under that big girl. Okay, warm. Hey, you want me to go to the store for you? Yeah. Okay, I'll be right back. You gonna be here?
People like who they like.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yep.
I will not lie. I got me this man. This girl weighed about 375, 700 pounds. Okay. I'm telling you.
And then it come out straight. It came out a lot. Just
375 to 700. Okay. But I'm telling you, man, it was nice through October to, I say, late January, because that's when you start acting up. Be like, girl, you need to lose weight. Damn. And you know, she said, well, what do you want me to do? And I'm like,
He did not sound like that.
Why you sound like Fat Albert, dog?
that ain't me. I'm telling you her voice. That's her voice. What do you want me to do? And she you know, I start making excuses. I'm wrong. I start making excuses, and then February it's getting close to February 14th. She won't go. She won't let you go. Okay, so you got to go and buy that card. Okay.
Oh,
you get that Hallmark card for fat girls. Okay.
That's all you got?
Huh?
That's
all I get.
That's all you got, huh?
I'm not gonna give her no motion, not no food or nothing like that. She eat the flowers. She's a horse. But see, I give her that Hallmark card.
Damn great.
So great.
And you sit up here wondering why.
So great.
And you know I'm 320 pounds, so why would you say that?
Because
again, a lie don't care who tell it.
I'm telling
That's right, Marcy.
I'm telling y'all what it is.
Greg.
I'm telling y'all what it is. I'm not putting Marcy's up there. She want to say something. Get on here.
What you say? Let me see.
Marcy says.
Yeah, Marcy.
Marcy is scared to get on here. You know why? Because this is not her arena. Okay.
Yeah, but we done
She did say she had something she had to do.
Man, she's been done with that. She's been done with that. Get out of here with that. She could do a Chris and get on here for the last minute and be, you know, tell us what she feel. But that's okay. I'm not gonna knock you, Marcella. I hope everything went well. All right. But they do got a section in the Hallmark section with cards for fat girls. They do. Okay. Yes, they do. Maurice, go to Walgreens. All right. Thank you for being with me for the past 4 months. Okay, but my pocket cannot take your digestive tract. Okay, and then no, I'm telling you, it Ryan stuff Ryan. It got a big picture of a black and white.
Man, if that was in the for real, don't you know that people be protesting up in that joint?
What they gonna how they gonna protest, man?
That's shaming.
It's a weight limit at Walgreens.
Body shaming.
There's a weight limit at Walgreens. All right.
What?
So
Can't wait. What?
Can't wait line that long.
A bunch of
great
bearded girls. How come the big girls have
great. Going deep, bro. Going deep.
They do have cars.
Put it in reverse. Put it in reverse. Back up, baby.
Can they do?
That's right, Lisa.
How you Google that now?
I just went on Google. There's not a lot, but there are some
fat girls cards. I'm not lying.
You're not lying.
What?
I looked it up.
That's so cruel.
That's real cruel.
So we ain't got great. We got Hallmark to blame.
Whether that candy.
That's right, John.
Okay, so it's cruel. It's not cruel when you got this fantastic bed, and then they come and they plop on it instead of sitting on it. It's not cool. That's not cool to me. I done paid $900 for this bed.
Nobody told you knew she was big when you got with her, and nobody told you to get with her.
There's a certain etiquette that you have. There's a certain etiquette that you have when you dating a guy like me. You have to come through the door and be polite. You know, you don't stomp on the floor, all right? Because I got beautiful wood floors, okay? And if I see a crack in them, I'm gonna be mad, okay? You don't do that, okay? You don't go straight to my refrigerator. Oh, this is a beautiful house. What you got in your refrigerator? You want me to cook something for you? No, we just left the restaurant. Why would I want you to cook something for me?
Negro.
I'm just saying,
Hey,
dude.
Like Scooby-Doo.
I dated a big
More
woman
like
for a minute.
Scooby-Doo.
She's trying to hey Jeff, she trying to mix core water with Aquafina and stuff like that. She concocting shit up
But
in the
why would you get with a
Can only
big
have one or the other.
girl? And you
because
knew
it's
she
winter
was,
time, night. It's winter.
but you don't want to dip
He
in
trying
your
to say.
bed.
He trying to save on
And
gas.
cracks in your floor, so then you should have just.
Who said that's not nice? Who said that?
Sage.
Sage.
The women on the panel.
Oh.
Look, I just shamed somebody that coming on. Who is this?
For all the big ones,
I just
we
shamed
don't like
somebody.
no comment.
I told you to put it in reverse.
Hey, everybody.
I told
say-
you. I told you. I told you.
Everybody say hello to Saint Marcy.
Hey everybody,
Marcy.
and
Hi,
boy, you ain't shamed nobody. I just walked in. Sorry, you guys, I'm late. I've had a long day. Can't really see any guys because I don't have my
Glasses on.
I know. Yeah, everything is blurred right now. But I do see a finger doing something. What you say, babe? Nyla?
I was desecrating. I mean, I was blessing the page.
I was just
Greg,
saying,
ain't nobody thinking about you.
You done made Marcy so mad. The poor girl that she done got on without her glasses. She some blur. She just came up because she got something to say.
No, because he's talking BS. So here I am. I'm on. Now what? What?
Okay.
Got on that. And that's on period.
All right, Robert, check me out. See, because you know I ain't phony, Robert. All right, I'm like you, bro.
I'm not phony either.
So what? Okay, Marcella, let me ask you.
Yes, Gregory.
Marcella Amos and Gregory Gray.
And that's on Mary
Round one.
Marcy ready.
When you are you one of those religious people who go to the karaoke bars and sing and troll for young guys?
Oh,
no, I don't troll for anybody, young, old, or anything of that nature.
I was joking with that, but how do you guys do how do you guys have intimacy? Because if you guys are waiting on that one man, y'all waiting on that guy, you're not going to do this before marriage. You're going to do this. I think that's bull because everybody's doing it before marriage. All right. But if you guys aren't doing anything, how do you guys, how do you guys stay alive? I don't know.
How do we stay alive? Everyone don't have the same convictions. Everyone's not always wanting to be celibate. For those that choose not to be celibate, they just do what they want to do. Those who choose to be celibate, it's a mind thing. The whole thing is a mind game. Do you use petroleum jelly? Is that what you use? Is that what you're saying, Greg? You use petroleum jelly?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Marcy said, okay.
And some Windex.
You and that Windex.
Want to make sure it stay glossy. You know what I mean?
That's not coaching, brother. You got to switch that up. That looks like it's gonna burn.
OMG.
Good.
OMG.
I care about you, brother. That's why I care about you.
My sister on here now. She ain't gonna like me.
Kara said, "Wow, Greg."
That's my sister, Kara. Love you.
Oh God.
Wait a minute. What did Amina say? Did I miss Amina? Amina say that's mean. Amina, I'm joking. Y'all know I joke. None of that stuff I said was true. Big girls deserve love too. And look, I'm telling you, I love all women. I love all people. I was just joking. It was just a moment to joke. That's all.
See, I told you.
That's all it was. It was just joke. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm gonna leave now. Go ahead, Marcy.
Go ahead. What? I've answered your question.
Go ahead and get your religious moment. Cause see, this is what I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna call you out right now. Okay.
Call me out.
You said you had something to do, but it's mighty funny when we was talking yesterday. It's mighty funny that you didn't say anything that you had something to do before Nyla mentioned that she wanted to.
Actually, I did. Nyla, do you remember me? Nyla, do you remember me saying I had a project? I wasn't sure.
Marcy, you don't have to.
Actually, I did. I said I had a project. I'm just walking in. I said it before. You said that.
I'm not saying you didn't.
Stop, Marcy.
You didn't say
I'm
it.
explaining to him
You didn't say it
I don't
until
know.
after. You didn't say it until after Nice said this is what she's going to talk about. Then he was like, oh, I got a project.
No,
You know, it's cool. I appreciate the project. I hope the project went well. Honestly, I do.
My name is Bennett, and I ain't in it.
Actually, I thought I was going to be able to get on, and then I had a family emergency, and so I'm just walking in.
I hope everything's well.
It will be.
Okay, Nyla, you take over. I'm done.
Wow, you gonna make this mess, and you gonna leave me to clean it up.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay, this is Dope Living TV Live. Greg, get out. No, I'm just kidding. Come back. What? Stop being so sensitive all the time, man.
Oh no. I was doing something. I'm doing something.
Oh.
I got a project. Hold on.
Wow.
I don't even care. Do I look like I care?
Marcy,
so what have you guys been talking about?
So we have been talking about
Go ahead.
Sexual intimacy and preferences, and whether those things should be a precedent, whether those things should be a precedent in a relationship, and if there should be compromise and rules set, or if it's just something that you just kind of do or have an understanding of.
Oh.
Now,
you want me to say something?
Yeah.
You know what? The way I look at it, between two adults, kind of anything goes as long as you're both in agreement. I don't believe in someone trying to force someone else to do something that they really don't want to do and that they're not comfortable doing. And also just, have fun, explore each other.
Marcy, I got a question for you. Me
Go
and
ahead.
Maurice talked about this because it's not really talked about, but would you go to your pastor and talk to your pastor, like with or without your significant other, like in marriage counseling or not, about sex and like your sexual intimacy in your relationship? Because it's not talked about in church. Like it's not. And they don't say anything about it.
Okay. I'm close to my pastor. He's like, he is my spiritual father, and he and I are close.
I told you.
You did.
I could say something to him. Well, he kind of knows me, so he wouldn't be shocked. So I can pretty much say anything and come to him and talk to him about. But I am very private. I can't really see myself going to him if I'm in my relationship, and just going to him, talking to him about something of that nature, because to me that's between me and my significant other.
Well, we were saying, before you get married, having that sit down with the pastor. I know in our church we had it. So
my pastor probably pass out if I go into some detail and talk to him about that. I'm just gonna be like that. He'd probably pass out.
Yeah, but that sit down is not a sexual conversation.
No.
It's more on the marriage and how.
I'm not talking about marriage counseling. I'm talking about like a sit down conversation. Like, what if your man is having some erectile dysfunctions or something, or you having some issues and you need to talk?
I wouldn't talk to that's not something I would talk to my pastor. I'd go to a doctor. No, that's not the right question.
That's an example. I'm just saying, but like, okay, before the person cheats or whatever, why wouldn't you have that conversation? Would you have that conversation? Or
with my pastor?
I mean, your pastor, they're supposed to be the person you go to for guidance or something. I mean,
okay, and so if my mate is having erectile dysfunction,
okay, that's just an example. You get hung up on erectile dysfunction.
No, I mean, because that's what you just said. That's what I'm trying to figure out. What? Give me an instance of why you feel.
And it's causing issues in your relationship. They feeling like they're not getting enough or whatever. Or you feel some type of way, and it's causing your relationship to have issues because your intimacy is not there.
So basically, what you would use your pastor for counseling for any type of issues like that.
Yeah, but specifically sexually, because people go to their pastors all the time if they have regular relationship issues. But if it's stemming around sexual intimacy, would you go to your pastor?
Okay, I had a male and a female pastor, and my female pastor passed away. When she was alive, the women got together during a session, and we were talking about everything. Both of them, her and him, were both very open. But when it was just the women together, we did get into this one session we had into deep conversation. Like, can you use toys? Is it okay to go to, Frederick's or Lover's Lane or, something of that nature? And because there was one young lady, and she was actually my age. She was like, we were like, yeah, you can wear lingerie, you can do, do this and do that. And she was in shock. She just started laughing because the majority of us are like, girl, you're our age. What you mean? And okay, but female pastor, I would have. The male pastor, I wouldn't go to him with that.
Tree said no too. Tree,
I say no too.
Gina said no.
No, it's a
not to the male pastor.
I think, and you said something very interesting. Now you said sex ain't talked about in church. You want to know why? Because it's taboo. People really don't know how to actually explain it. They don't know how to explain it. When you don't know how to explain something, and you don't know how to preach it to get people to really understand the value and the connection of it, they ain't gonna talk about it in church.
But see,
we have talked about it in our church. We have talked about it, and actually, with a couple that is married, it is considered a form of worship. It's like a high form of worship between a husband and a wife. So it is sometimes talked about in church.
Okay, but me and Maurice was talking about how the people in the church be the biggest freaks. Okay, the pastors
That's
be
true.
the pastors be the main ones stepping out and cheating on the first lady with one of the people on the usher board or whatever, or Shirlene that come to church in her nice fitted dress or whatever.
Shirlene.
And he out there tapping that or whatever. They be the main ones, but then don't nobody want to talk about sex in church. I don't understand it.
Okay.
And I said, well,
it is talked about. It is talked about. I'm just gonna put it like this. I have been in churches where it is talked about. But you do have other churches that act like, no, we can't talk about that. And it's like, oh my word, we don't do this. We're human. It feels good. Bottom line, it feels good. We're human. It happens.
But it's sending the wrong signal to the youngin'.
Exactly.
And a lot of people feel that just because you're a Christian mean you don't do things. You're human. You're human. We're just like other people. You get in the bedroom of a Christian married couple, they can teach you some things, okay? They can teach you guys some things.
And throw it forth the same way.
Just shut up.
But now you do not go to your pastor for that personal conversation. No.
I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not religious, so I'm just asking.
I'm not religious either. I'm not religious either. I'm a Christian. There's a difference.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not Christian. I'm not anything of that nature. So I was just asking for the people who are, Marcy specifically, because we had this conversation last night. And since you did come on, I really wanted to get your input because you always be hiding.
Time out, young girl. I do not hide anything. There's some things that I consider private and I choose not to talk about in public. I don't hide. I'm upfront. I'm naked and unashamed. So no, don't get it twisted. I don't hide anything.
I like that comment.
Get it right.
No, I wasn't saying that you were hiding your personal business. I'm saying in general, you be hiding, like turning your camera off and stuff.
I don't hide. Okay.
You do it all the time.
Great.
Not necessarily, not for something of that effect. No, y'all come on, y'all. No.
Lisa says we did. Wait, go back. Lisa said we did things. That's how we got these little baby Christians.
Come on.
Some of them baby Christians was conceived right there in the church.
What?
And unfortunately, it is. You know, a lot of times that people that are not in the church and that are not spiritual, they put certain things on people that are Christians, and they, put them in a box. Yeah. And like, okay, just because you believe in God, so you guys aren't having sex, you guys aren't talking about it and stuff like that's not true.
Back at the
that's
church
not true. Talk to Christians. Find out, really, before you start saying, things.
That's why I wanted to go ahead and talk about that, because that's the misnomer. It's a misnomer.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I agree.
And if y'all really,
let's be honest though. Let's keep it honest, okay?
Mhm.
Because sometimes the people who are religious, spiritual, whatever, they put on this big show. Okay, I
Or
couldn't do
somebody
anything.
throw stones in
Hypocrites.
the man's house.
Yeah, and,
Hypocrites.
right,
Yeah.
and like Maurice said, they in the back pew when everybody else is gone with
Okay, be the
Bible
biggest
flying all
freaks.
over the place. Come on. I mean, and not to be disrespectful to the
PKs.
Bible show. And Martha, I apologize if we had fun at your expense. I apologize for that, but it was. I just don't like the fact that we try to be as transparent and honest on here as possible.
Mhm.
All right, and I don't like the fact that people, not saying you, people hide their sexuality or how much they have sex or how amorous they are. They hide that behind the Bible. They hide it. Okay, we are imperfect. We're going to sin. We're going to make mistakes. Okay, Kara says you have to be wise with whom you share your marital business,
Mhm.
even
I'm
to
gonna give y'all some
church
sauce
counsel.
too, real quick.
True.
True.
No, your business is gonna be down the street, up the block.
Yeah.
Everybody gonna know.
Because I'm gonna tell you this. Remember, like I said earlier, how I was in the lifestyle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Church community got their own little lifestyle.
Oh,
That's talk. That's real talk. I mean,
Exactly.
that's real talk. They got their own thing that they do. Now, hey, I ain't got nothing to hide. You know what I mean? I done been out there and done it, so I don't mind talking about it. I ain't gonna drop no names or no people, but I'm just letting people know that it's out there. A lot of these pastors' wives and husbands they allowing that same stuff to go on, just as like the regular worldly people do. That's in the lifestyle.
With churches, you're supposed to be a certain way if you're gonna confess Christ. And there's a biblical way there's a biblical way of living. Everyone in church is not living the biblical way.
That's true.
There's a lot. There as many devils as saints in churches, and a lot of people don't realize that. The church is supposed to be a hospital where everybody can come in, and they're in there. There's a little bit of everyone in there. It's life. It's the world we're living in. So
They're not supposed to be. I mean, they're not supposed to be perfect, and that's why you are in church, and you're supposed to come as you are.
Right. You're supposed to be able to bring the light to the darkness.
Okay, time out. Come as you are is not in the Bible. A lot of people, that's a misnomer. A lot of people say come as you are is in the Bible. That's not in the Bible. You will not find that anywhere in the Bible. But yes, you're supposed to come when you.
I didn't say it was in the Bible, but you should. You should come as you are. You can't fix yourself and then go to church.
Hey, listen.
I didn't say it was in the Bible, but you should come as you are, because you will heal if that's what you want to do. It will help you to heal,
But
and it will help you to get past the things that you're doing.
That's what's told. It's not said in the Bible, but it's alluded to that we accept you as you are. Okay, it's alluded
correct.
It's not said that way verbatim. Amina says if you're having sexual problems, why not go to a therapist? Why would you want to take it?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I don't know. I mean, because I said that because Marcy had a different experience, but I went to church when I was younger. I went to a few different churches, and I never heard it talked about. But like I said, Christians be the biggest freaks. So I just wanted to know why it was such a taboo topic, and if people would be willing to discuss it, since it's happening anyway, and we know that it's happening. We're not stupid, right? So like we know it's happening, but it's never talked about. And then you have all these but then they talk about infidelity and this, but it's like dancing around the subject or the bush. That's why I mentioned
you can't explain anything away by throwing scriptures at somebody. You can't explain it away like that.
Right. That's why.
People are that so you because now you're acting like, well, I know more than you do. You're living wrong. You're a sinner. You're a heathen, and this and that. Okay, you can't explain anything away by throwing Bible scriptures at them. Okay, and go ahead.
Okay, let me give you an example of a young lady that went to our pastor's, the wife, the female pastor. And she was just saying how she was upset with her husband because he wanted it all the time. And the pastor's, one of her comments to this young lady was, if you don't do it, there's someone else that would be with your husband. So what are you going to do? he'll go elsewhere. And that's real talk. That's real talk. There are several churches now. A lot of churches now are feeling more comfortable talking about sex. They're not going into detail about it. They'll say it in a roundabout way.
Just giving facts, basically. Yeah.
Well, kind of, because in my church it came up. Oral sex came up in my church. It was like pretty much like what I said.
But you're saying it like it's a surprise.
Pardon me?
Saying it like it's a surprise. Oral sex talked about all the time.
No, I said it in church. In church, it's just coming out where people are talking. Some pastors are talking about sex, and you need to talk about that. You have some people out there, they don't know about intimacy. They don't know about role playing with your man, keeping your man or keeping your woman. There's other ways of being intimate versus physical touch, doing things during the day, calling each other, leaving little notes, leaving a text, things like that, and leading up to it for, at night, and just cuddling, just touching, like just say if one of you are cooking and the other one come and kind of rub against you, or something like that, kiss them on the ear, kiss her on the ear. There's a lot of different things. And that can lead up to, in the evening when you come back from work or whatever, or on lunch hour, or just talk to each other. And one's at home, you might want to come home, for lunch. It's being talked about, but it's in a roundabout way. And I've had people that left my church because my pastor's like old school. I kind of say thug, but back in the day before he was saved, he was. And he's like that in the spirit now, but if it needs to be said, he'll say something.
But I don't feel that's the role of the church. It's not to talk about sex and educate people on sex. I don't feel like that's their role.
But you know what? If people are asking and want to know, certain things.
Well, I feel like
that's me when I was 23.
I just want to say, I know we're over time, but we're over time because it's a great subject, and we're having a conversation, we're talking, and that's what we do here. But I really feel like it is, and the reason I feel like it is because it's all up and throughout the Bible. And Meshach and Abednego, and then somebody having a baby with somebody, and somebody slept with this one and have many wives, and this and this. It is the role of the church, because if you can sit and talk about how infidelity and adultery is a sin, then you can talk about sex, and if you can talk about how this person had this wife and slept with this person, and it's all up and through the Bible, then you can talk about the actual act of sex and why it's there. You have all of these people and all of these prophets and individuals who, and all of these, I don't want to call them stories, but all these books of the Bible with all of these individual stories that are talked about and what's the concept in them. But then you don't want to talk about sex, but it's all.
But you know what, Nyla? You know what? That's one of the reasons that the churches have gone in so many different directions. There's every entity have their own specifics.
Right.
What is it? What is the specialty of a pastor to preach sex? He doesn't have a license in that. I would never go to my pastor to get any kind of sex education. He's not licensed in that. That is not his forte.
Not sex
okay. You know what? When I'm talking about sex in church, it's not going into detail.
Right. Thank you.
It's just
the idea or the action.
Like I said, it was said that it's between a husband and wife. It's a form of worship, and intimacy, and it's like it's a vague.
Right.
Conversation. It's not going into a deep conversation
talk about gonorrhea and all of
that. Using the examples that's already in the Bible that they're following up through a passage. I mean, because there's examples in the Bible of sex. That's the way they use it. That's the way they preach.
And that's a big part of it.
And we're not. I'm not saying to go into detail and talk about this is how sex happened, and then these are the different parts of the individual, and then these are the diseases. And
no, not in that manner.
I'm not saying all that where you would need to be licensed and have certification. I'm not saying all that, but I'm saying the act of having sex. While Marcy is saying, well, it's in the Bible, it's talked about an act of virtue. Well, then you need to talk about that. While you're sitting here and talking about how adultery is forbidden, you need to also talk about why sex is an important thing and how it's to be fruitful and multiply. You need to talk about that concept.
But I believe it is touched on in general. I mean, again, I just don't feel like a pastor is.
Well, with Nas, part of it, I see it like I see what she's saying, because you have to be able to break down the culture and the scripture at the time it was used. So then you can relate it to the time of now.
That's
what she's saying.
Yeah, but not in detail and things. You see, none of that.
But that's the thing. That's not what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be in detail. See, I'm only saying this because I study and I read and I look. So I'm gonna just say this to y'all real quick, and let's see if y'all understand. So when we say talking about sex and everything, I ain't looking for the nitty gritty. The nitty gritty is, I tell you how the nitty gritty is defined. The Bible says that the marriage bedroom is undefiled. Bam. So that nitty gritty you choose to do in your bedroom, I don't need to know about that.
Yep.
Talk about that. But what you can talk about is how sex is talked about in the Bible, what it actually means, how it's defined as it is to marriage and everything spiritually, how it relates to what we live in today. That is the disconnect we have in church.
And
this is
that
what
is
Nye
the
said. This is what Nye said.
It's an instruction booklet. It's not
the pastor's responsibility. If he gonna preach the Bible, you preach it that way. Nobody's saying, Pastor, go ahead and tell me all your sexual desire. That
right? No.
That is what they're saying.
But
and
if you're gonna say that,
that's why they don't talk about it in church. Because they don't know how to break it down.
And if you're saying you need to wait to marriage, you need to break down how Jeff just said. If you're saying all these other things about and alluding to or surrounding, you need to go to the nucleus. If you're talking about the mitochondria and the chloroplast and the plasmas, and you need to talk about the nucleus, the center of it. That's all I'm saying.
Practice what you preach. Look, Carr says back in the day, we were told oral sex was a sin and it caused marriages to fail because women were afraid to let loose. So I agree with Jeff. I mean, absolutely. If you know, you can't. You back in the day, they used to try to scare you into not doing this thing. You know?
Right.
And once we found out it was a lie, it was kind of hard to go to church.
You know, you're not gonna go blind if you masturbate. You ain't gonna go blind. You know,
you're gonna lose your little thing gonna fall off.
No.
Matter of fact, you get done, you see a little bit clear.
They over there telling you your parts gonna fall off. You all type of stuff. That's exactly.
Well, you have to remember back in the day, if a girl got pregnant in her teens or prior to being married, they would send them away.
Down south or up north, wherever they live.
So,
or they would have to have the baby and then raise the baby as their brother or sister.
Right. So, things have changed from that. In some areas that is still like that. But, we've evolved from that. And I think the churches have evolved a lot, too. I mean, even if you think about some of the different groups they have in the church, like the women's ministry and, the youth ministry, those are broken apart based on what should be taught, because there's some things that you don't want to be out there preaching about and it's young kids out there listening. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be very careful.
That's
a lot of churches have purity classes for the youth, and they kind of go a little bit dealing with sex and intimacy. They don't go into detail, but it's more about keeping yourself and being celibate. When it's like they'll hit it and quit it.
And that's what I'm saying. Breaking. I'm not saying that necessarily that the pastor needs to stand in for. I feel like depending on the kind of the church, I feel like the pastor should touch on it, in some capacity. But I'm not saying sit there and go into detail. I'm saying having these groups like in the women's ministry, or maybe they even break up Sunday. When you go to youth service or Sunday school, they break it up by age group. So the teens, having the teens. They had when I was going to church, we had this thing called G4, which was just for females. And they had this thing called Y Men, which was just for men. We talked about different things, but I don't remember if we touched on stuff like that. But you know, somebody needs to have it talked about. I mean, there needs to be, you know, if you're going to your couples retreats or whatever, they need to talk about specific things, maybe in sexual things in your marriage and how it relates to your marriage and all. That's what I'm saying. In some type of capacity, mainly with, you know, the youth and then the people who are, you know, older people. I'm not saying go around talking to a 5-year-old about, like, no, we're not doing that. But
you know, normally it's talked about as intimacy without going into detail.
Right.
So
but like Jeff was saying,
Yeah,
nobody's
what
trying to
you
sit here
said.
and talk about oral sex and what you do with your partner behind. We
No,
try to talk about exactly what Jeff was saying. And so that's what I was getting at, and that's where I was going with that with my question. Thank you for breaking that down, Jeff.
Oh, no problem, girl.
That's Dr. J Real.
That's how you get some life, you get some life coaching up in this joint, okay? All right. Pop a
Period.
Mentos every now
Jay
and then.
real.
Yeah, it is.
Give me that real,
Pop
Jay.
a Mentos. Put it up.
Hold
Man.
on. About to pop it.
You made me buy some. I'm in the store and I see it at the counter and I'm like, gotta give me some Mentos.
There you go.
That's a
And they
selling
come in
point.
fruity flavors as well.
Just
All
don't drink no
variety.
Coca-Cola behind it.
Look, y'all go appetizers crazy now, ain't you?
They got all types of flavors for your palate.
Okay, we got to get a sponsor for Porsche. Porsche.
Tell them to send me something.
Porsches.
My
Hey.
car stopped yesterday. Well, it didn't stop, but yeah, my battery died yesterday. So if Porsche want to come through, your girl. I'm just saying. But I know we're over time, guys. We had a great conversation today. Thank you guys, all of you, for listening and watching, and thank you guys for coming on. We got my bro Greg. We got Maurice Ice Cold Pepper. We got Tree and her sweets. Okay. We got Dr. What we call you? J Real.
J Real. Y'all funny.
We got Gina, and I say that because I say it in my Martin voice. Gina. And we got Marcy coming through, and everybody else. You know, we're all a family. All the people who weren't on here today, Chris, Uji, everybody else. So I want to thank
Samantha,
you guys.
don't forget Samantha and Suzette.
Samantha, Suzette. I'm trying to think of everybody. You know, we've grown so much. I'm over here trying to name everybody.
Ray.
Oh, and I do want to say happy birthday to Donnell.
Yes, it
Today
is
is his
Yes.
birthday.
Happy
Birthday,
to
Donnell.
Happy birthday, Donnell. Everybody, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday, Donnell.
All right, we are sending love to you. Hope you had an awesome birthday. This is Dope TV Live, and we are out.
Hold up.
I thought I did good.
Real
I
quick.
want to say something. You did really good, Nyla, by the way.
Thanks.
But I don't know. But y'all, Maurice been saying some hilarious stuff on this show. I don't know if y'all been listening to him. But if y'all play this back throughout this whole show, Maurice has been saying some wild stuff.
Been gone. He had all that bubbled up from when he wasn't with us.
Yeah.
Right?
That was Greg. That was Greg.
No.
Guys,
Maurice.
Look, let me
Greg
say
wants
this.
you to stay on after
Night, great show.
Let me say this, man, for real. We don't mean to offend anybody. Okay, I did a lot of jokes here, okay, because that's what I do. My jokes were not real. None of that stuff was real. Okay.
I was trying to make a full back.
I'm just trying to. We're trying to just keep the show entertaining. Okay. Marcy, this is why I wanted you to come on. Okay. This is why I wanted you to come on, because we needed a difference of opinion. Okay. And I have a viewer even said, okay, she gives a difference of opinion that makes everybody else have the other comments. Okay. So that's what I needed. Okay. That's what I needed. And y'all hang out for a minute. Okay. Go ahead. Close out, man.
All right, this is Dope TV Live.
No, it isn't. It's Dope Living TV.
Did I? What?
Dope Living.
Didn't I just say Dope Living TV?
Take two.
Cut.
Dope Living TV. And
Live.
We live.
4.
What the heck? All
Dope
right, anyway.
Living TV
Y'all
live.
get the point, okay? We dope living something, okay? And we'll see y'all tomorrow. Is it tomorrow Friday? Are we doing Freestyle Friday?
We're going free balling Friday. Let's go.
Okay, we spitballing Friday.
Uh-oh.
Spitballing.
We spitballing Friday.
Hey, who gonna host?
Coming downhill every
Who gonna
comment.
start off tomorrow? Who gonna start off tomorrow? Nolly, you do it again.
Okay.
All right, Nolly got it, y'all.
All right.
Go ahead, Nolly. Close out.
Nah, because you just gonna keep making me take takes.
Take 3.
Thank you, Gina.
We on 5, 6. Okay.
We gotta go. Y'all hang on, okay?
We love y'all.
This is
This is
TV Live. We love everybody, okay? Thank you.
Good
Peace.
night.
Bye-bye. Good night.